Oh wait, and then I need to, 1 sec.
All right, let me hop in. And then let me pull up YouTube.
Okay, hopefully this works well.
Let me make sure that the audio is good. Oh, is my audio blown out?
No, your audio is good. Okay, let's go there. And then we'll go, I don't know, it's always a gamble with the audio.
We don't have to answer this if it's too invasive.
Wait, we're live.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that we're okay on audio.
Okay.
Let me send out the message on Discord.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Should be good there. Let me join on YouTube or on TikTok or wherever I will be.
Yep.
All right, should be good to go. Sweet. I think we're all set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. People who are asking, am I late or are you late? No, we're late.
No, I'm late. It's me.
It was Ian's fault.
Yeah,
it was all Ian's fault.
It is unironically always Ian's fault. Like every single time we're late for any amount of time, it will be my fault. I'm terrible at showing up on time. It's like my biggest weakness.
Like your kryptonite.
Yeah.
I saw the Superman movie yesterday, the new one.
Damn. All these woke SJWs, am I right?
I know. It turns out that aliens can be good guys.
I don't think so.
Who would have thunk?
You know, I haven't seen Superman's papers.
Bro's a DACA recipient, legit.
Bro, I don't know. There's like a lot of like high IQ analysis going on of the Superman movie.
People probably are taking it far more seriously than they should. It's a Superman movie.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. That's kind of Superman's whole thing, is that he's not from here.
He's not from here, and he's really good. In fact, one might even say that he's super.
Good one. This fucking guy. How's the echo going?
I think that we're okay everywhere.
There's
Yeah, we're good everywhere.
I don't know. Man, I wish I had more time to read. I think what I'm going to do, instead of reading up on like all the evidence for the resurrection, I think what I'll probably just do is read up on all the arguments against miracles.
Or alternatively, you could just be skeptical of those things. Just be like, I don't know. Doesn't sound so convincing.
Yeah, it's like the one dialogue option you have to memorize against like all of the arguments for the resurrection. I don't know.
I mean, like, all you have to do is just be like, my credence for miracles is sufficiently low that your evidence means nothing.
Yeah. Well, there are interesting arguments against miracles, though. Like, there's this one, I don't know, like Hume's, I don't know if this is Hume's argument. I think this is Hume's argument, is that in order to have like a miracle that is a violation of the laws of nature, well, so you can either have miracles or you can have, or fuck, I'm like already butchering it. 1 second.
How could you?
The argument is, where is it? It's like a disjunct. either it can be rational to believe that these events occurred but were not like violations of laws of nature, or it can be rational to believe that they did not occur. It can't be both. I think it has to do with like just kind of the nature of laws of nature, right? Like presumably, you know, if it gets violated, it's not a law of nature.
Yeah, laws of nature don't have exceptions.
Yeah. And I think that you could probably, because maybe like the argument that you want to make in this instance, I don't know why I'm so foggy. I completely lost it. Okay, whatever.
I can explain, but I won't, because that would be invading your privacy.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like not able to process. That's okay. So it goes.
Anyway, if you guys are watching on YouTube or on TikTok or on wherever else we're broadcasting from, and you want to join, the place to go is tinyurl.com/uaguest. It's really easy. Anybody can join. We'll pull you up. You won't be forced in immediately if you go to that URL. You'll have some time to collect your thoughts. And you can come explain to us why God is real. Or you could not do that and listen to us just blabber on.
True.
Nobody wants that, though. Or do
they? I don't know. I've gotten deeper and deeper into the Sean Carroll book. I still don't understand I still don't understand the uncertainty principle. I don't get it.
Well, there's a story there.
Thanks. That was helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, suffice it to say, like, you can understand the uncertainty principle mathematically. Essentially just saying that, look, everything is a wave, and the uncertainty principle is just a statement that the spatial distribution of a wave is inversely correlated with the frequency distribution of the same wave.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, right? Because if it's just like one big, then it's, you don't have like the little guys. I'm sorry, that wasn't very...
Well, no. I mean, roughly. I mean, it's all it's saying is just that in order to make a very spatially localized bump, which would be a small spatial distribution, you have to add up a whole bunch of sine waves, right? Because a single sine wave is just going to go on forever. If you want the edges to cancel out and the middle to constructively interfere, you need a whole bunch of different sine waves to add together. On the opposite, and so that just means that the frequency distribution is quite large. On the other hand, if you want the frequency distribution to be small, that would just be like a single sine wave. Well, a single sine wave is going to have a very large angular or a spatial distribution because it's spread out over forever. That's the whole business. The rest is, as they say, well, I think that they say history, but I'm going to say mathematics.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think probably what needs to happen is that I just need to take Sean Carroll's word for it, and then I need to sit down and actually like go through the calculations myself. Or myself, myself, plural, myself.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do is, you could just pick up Griffith's book on Introduction to Quantum Mechanics, and I think probably like the first chapter or two would probably be pretty explanatory.
Yeah, I actually have that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely like, I don't know. That's one of the things that I want to do. I think wave function monism sounds like a good foundation of one's metaphysics.
It does. It sounds really good. You just have to make sense of it somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like it could explain. Well, I don't know. It explains the data. I know other people have, like, there are like some philosophers who have like more ambitious projects with it. And I don't know.
Wave function monism. What else do they want to do?
Well, some people want to explain like the nature of contingency, like the modal language is just saying like, there's like a possible world, or there's like a wave function, or not a wave function. There's a superposition that corresponds to this state of affairs, and that's what it means to say that this state of affairs is like physically possible.
Well, surely that seems fine. But physically possible is really weak, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true. I know some people
Because you could even say that physically possible with like a different initial set of conditions for the wave function, and that would be distinct from physically possible as in there is a branch of the wave function that currently embodies that possibility.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that makes sense. Although I definitely do think that there's like something to be said about I don't know. It just doesn't seem like, I think more work would need to be done in order to demonstrate that a different superposition would have like something that like intuitively seems physically possible, right? Like it seems physically possible that I'm like the owner of a Lamborghini and some other like like in some superposition, or I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's some superposition wherein I'm like the owner of a Lamborghini, but it seems physically possible for me to be the owner of a Lamborghini, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, and this is where it starts to become really tricky how to make sense of what the different worlds are. Because the different worlds, sorry, I'm trying to
You're good.
handle a vet appointment. The different worlds are not objective, right? They are a kind of like a descriptive thing. So there's something known as the Wigner's friend thought experiment, where one person would see different worlds, one person would find themselves in would say, oh yeah, there's two distinct worlds here, and another person would say that person's actually only in one world, or rather that there is only one world. The branching hasn't occurred yet, so it's a relative thing. So it's tricky to make sense of.
Yeah, I don't know. This is like definitely the kind of thing that I think I would need to spend more time with.
Yeah, that's probably true. Probably true that most people need to spend more time with it to make sense of it.
Because I guess, I don't know, I think like rhetorically speaking, like, okay, I think that the proper order of debate is that you should, or like the proper order of like worldview construction with respect to debate is that you should find the true worldview and then you should make it rhetorical. But man, it seems like really hard to make this like understandable and like rhetorically effective. There's just like a lot of facets of quantum mechanics that just seem like absurd.
Well, I mean, look, the way to make it rhetorically effective is you say, is to use it as a defense rather than as an offense.
Yeah.
And just say, look, there's this view called wave function monism, and a lot of very smart people take it seriously, and I could explain it to you, but you're too dumb to understand.
Yeah, I think that that's true. I think, well, one that I've been using is just like, you know, because presumably the argument that they want to hit you with, if you were to argue for wave function monism, presumably what they want to say in response to that, they want to give you like an incredulous stare. You know, they want to say,
Yep.
But then I think that it's moments like that when you should remind them that they believe in like literal magic.
I mean, you could believe that's one approach. The other approach is you just start jargon dropping on them and explaining what it actually means in as technical terms as possible. And then they just look dumb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
You
I
asked them
suppose
like a
that
very
requires knowing
specific
that.
question. Like, I don't know, like, how do you explain the fact that the wave function does collapse or something of that sort? Or, I don't know, not
That would
definitely
work as
like
well, too.
more technical than that.
I mean, like they probably wouldn't have an explanation for
You know
nobody
what?
has an explanation for that.
I gotta be
We have a
honest.
guess, though.
I have a bad feeling about this guest.
Why?
The name, the camera. Maybe it's unfair.
Well, I mean, we don't have to show their camera.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Dr. Derelict, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry
we can.
to be like prejudiced against you. I'm sure you're a fine person.
Against me? What? When were you prejudiced?
Oh, like 5 minutes ago or 5 seconds ago.
I apologize. I didn't hear that. If you would,
No, I apologize. But hey, yeah. What religion are you? Are you a believer?
I am a believer. I would consider myself one, and I've seen a couple people on here debate you over the past couple of days who I would suppose that they lied and claimed to be a believer just to debate you. Is what that's the impression that I got.
Is it because they made bad arguments?
No, it was just because I wouldn't say it was necessarily the argument itself. It was just the way they seemed almost hesitant at the beginning, and after that, even hesitant to make an argument. Just the way. I guess it's hard to explain. Maybe I'm wrong, but I got that impression, and I don't know if you feel the same way or you've kind of heard that.
Not really.
You don't think so? Okay, well.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. I think people just don't like your steez. I think they just want to argue with you. That's how it seemed to me, to be honest. But I want to have a nice, like, kind of friendly discussion here, because I've heard some people get on here and be kind of unsavory, I guess I'd say.
Sure.
I would appreciate, though, if you would start with your position. Can you give me like a solid something I can latch on to, a reason that you do believe that there is no God?
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
But hold on, before we do that, we have to make sure that we agree on definitions. What God is it that you believe in?
Okay, I would describe it as something. Well, I want to kind of be clear on the terms, because I don't know exactly what your terms are to.
Right, that's why I'm
I've only
asking
had a
you
couple
what God
of
it is you believe in.
Yeah.
Because you could be
Monotheism.
like, so like, do you take anything from the Christian tradition?
Yeah, well, there are bits and pieces you can take from each, standard, monotheistic, like, Muslim and Judaism and Christianity, all kind of, I'd say they believe in the same God in a way. They all have their stories and traditions of, they have Jesus, and they have their one God, and he's all the same God in all these
so
three religions.
do you, and just to clarify, do you think that Jesus rose from the dead?
I'm not going to lie. I'm not as keen on the Jesus stuff. I'm more.
Okay, it was just a question. You're allowed to say no. That's fine. Okay,
I don't believe so. Well, I don't believe so. I'm not going to say he didn't, but I'm not certain about anything.
So that's why I asked you if you believe X, Y, Z.
But I don't. Not in
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm more.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Okay,
So the
great.
answer is no.
So
yeah.
now we have a basis. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So would you agree with the definition of God, that God is like a mind that created the universe?
Sure.
Yeah.
A conscious mind, consciously creating things. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I don't think that such a being could exist. Either God always had created the universe, in which case the universe always would have existed, which means he never created it, or God had not always created the universe, in which case God would go from not creating the universe to creating the universe. And if that's the case, then that means that God changes, which means he's not outside of time, which means he didn't create time, which means he didn't create the universe. So either way, God couldn't create the universe, which just means that a mind couldn't possibly create the universe.
Well, I'm going to start with your beginning point here, where you say that God, if the universe has always existed, that would mean it couldn't have been created. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Now, what makes it so that it could not have been created outside of time by a God?
Yeah, because if the universe always existed, then the implication of the universe always existing is pretty simple. It's just that it never came into existence. There's no moment where it doesn't exist and then comes into existence, but that's exactly what it means for something to be created. At one moment it doesn't exist, at the next it does. Or at like one state of existence, one state of reality, it doesn't exist. the next moment it does. So in order for something to be created, it needs to come into existence. The universe, if it always existed, never came into
Always
existence.
existed. I don't think it necessarily has to have always existed for there to have been a God or for there to be a God.
But let's just like rule out possibilities. So you would agree that the universe did not always exist.
I think, I would reckon it's possible, just like anything else. Yeah.
Then we need to talk about this more
Sure.
until we recognize that it's impossible. Would you agree that creation requires like a coming into existence?
Yeah. To the best of my knowledge, I would say so. Yeah. But so aside from, give me something like solid though, something like we can like suppose.
I am.
Like, certainly not.
I am. I'm currently doing that.
You know-
So you agree that creation requires a coming into existence. If the universe always existed, did it come into existence?
So I think it's pretty crazy to say that the universe has always existed when it's expanding at a rate. I mean, if it's expanding outward from a point,
if you're
it
willing,
hasn't always
if
existed.
if you believe that the universe has not always existed, then we can just grant that and
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I believe. I asked him,
so we will
why
grant
can't-
that the universe had a beginning.
Yeah.
The very
Okay.
first question I asked in this whole thing was, why can't God exist?
Yeah. And we're telling
And
you, yeah.
the universe hasn't always existed. Why isn't that possible?
Well, yeah, because then the universe wouldn't have come into existence, which means that it wasn't created.
What is making you say it wouldn't have come into existence?
If it always existed, it never came into existence.
Why? Who said it always existed?
You're
This
asking
is
what
a-
the problem would be with the universe always existing. You're stipulating it in the question.
I never said it always existed.
I'm gonna crash the fuck out, Dr. Blitz, I swear.
Look, okay, so either the universe
No, I'm
always
sorry,
existed
I'm
or
sorry,
it
I'm not
didn't,
understanding,
right?
really.
Look, either the universe always
Didn't
existed
always
or it
exist.
didn't.
It
Derelict.
didn't always exist.
So
Yes.
that may be the case. It's still true that either it always existed or it did not always exist. That's definitely true. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Now, all Ian is doing
definitely
is
did
saying
not
that
always
if God
exist.
created the
It's expanding
universe,
outward from a set point.
derelict, one sec. All Ian is doing is saying if God created the universe, then it couldn't have always existed. Which is fine. You already
Okay.
agree with that.
Yeah.
So then we can go on
That's
and
what
talk
I
about, well,
agree.
what about
What's the-
if the universe didn't always exist?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do that.
Yeah.
I was trying
Okay.
to. I thought you were arguing with me. I was like, what the hell?
No.
So I'm saying that there's two possibilities. Both of them lead to God not creating the universe.
So let's talk
So
about the possibility
why
where
does that lead to
suppose
God not creating the universe?
Because if
Okay.
there's two possibilities and both of them conclude, therefore God did not create the universe.
Ian, he's confused because you
Why?
haven't explained the second half, that if the universe did begin to exist.
Yeah, okay, cool. So if the universe began to exist, that
Yeah,
means
why does
that
that mean
God
he
had
doesn't
not
create-
eternally created it, which means that God went from not creating it to creating it. You would agree?
Let's say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if the universe began to exist, then that means God would have had to go from not creating it to creating it. Would you agree?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a change.
For now.
And you can't change if you're outside of time.
Why?
Because what it means to be
That's
outside
what
of
time
time
is.
is that you don't have past or future states. But if you go from not creating the universe to creating the universe, you would have a past state, not creating the universe, and you'd have a future state, creating the universe. So you would need a past and future state in order to create the universe, which means that you couldn't go from not creating the universe to creating the universe if indeed you were outside of time.
So you don't believe in God, but you believe that the universe at some point didn't exist, but now does exist.
No?
How is that possible?
No?
It hasn't always existed. How is that possible if there's no God?
Wait, why should I think that it hasn't always existed?
You don't think you believe it hasn't always existed because it's expanding
No.
outward.
I'm inclined to
those
believe that the universe has always existed in some form or
Expanding
another.
outwards.
So you
Expanding
don't,
outwards is
moving
compatible
outward,
with
you don't think
having
it's
always been existing.
So you think if you trace that back,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't believe the universe is 13 whatever billion years old or whatever the hell the
I
current
think that's how
thing
long
is,
it's been
whatever
since the Big
common
Bang.
general.
Since the
But
Big
you
Bang,
believe
that's
that
how
the
long it's
universe
been.
existed before the Big Bang.
I'm inclined to believe so, in some form or another.
Okay, so what is keeping you from believing God existed within that threshold? Why can't God exist and your laws of science and physics and whatever the hell still apply?
I just explained it to you.
Any argument you could fall into God still existing. I'm sure you've heard this argument. I don't know.
No, I mean, if the universe began to exist as you believe it did, then what that would mean is that God had to change. And you can't change if you're outside of
Why
time.
does he have to change? He changed the thing itself. He didn't change. He changed the matter.
He went from not creating to creating. That's a change.
Who's to say he wasn't just necessarily in a state of creating constantly and it just looked different?
Because that would mean the universe always existed.
The act of creating itself looked different as time passed.
Yeah, because if he was always creating,
he
then the
existed
universe would
within
have
time.
always existed. If the universe always existed, then he didn't create it.
And if he exists within time,
Then he didn't create time, which means he didn't create the universe.
okay, so you are. I feel like that clashes with the idea that. So you believe that the universe at some point has always existed but was created at some point, is what you believe?
I don't think it was created, no.
I want to get clear on. You believe it's always existed.
In
So
some
what was
form
the
or
Big
another,
Bang in your
yeah.
opinion?
The Big Bang was just the rapid expansion of the universe.
What was the Big Bang?
The rapid expansion
Okay.
of the universe.
So suppose, right, God, I mean, we could go around all day and, fucker, I'm sorry, I don't mean to, just throw words around, but, I mean, why can't there be a God without him having created the universe and time and all this other stuff?
Because-
Then in what sense is it a god if it didn't create the universe?
But he created the stuff. But if he didn't make time, but he's like, all right, I made all this other stuff.
So
I'm God.
wait, so this is just like a dude who like exists in space-time but created like stars?
If there was a guy who exists within space-time, but he created, matter. The matter
Well, what's
that
he
we
made out
live
of?
within, right?
What's he made out of? If he is in space-time, he'd be made out of something.
So maybe he's made out of the same stuff. If somebody created you in the world you live in, would you consider them God?
No?
No, my mother and father created me. I don't consider them gods.
I'm not saying, biologically, just some like thing that naturally happens just because you want to, because you want to have a good time. I'm saying like you sit down and you plan it out and you like freaking you periodic table.
Look, if
put the
he
stuff down.
if this
Makes
dude is
real.
made of matter, then he didn't make matter.
Yeah. You're describing
he
like...
made matter, not to say he created it, but I mean we make chemicals, but we didn't invent them.
Okay,
Make
so
'em.
does that make us gods because we synthesize chemicals?
Well, define what a god is,
Yeah.
if you will.
A mind that created the universe. We've been over this.
Why does it have to be the entire universe? Why can't
That
it
was the
be-
definition
so
we
you
agreed
put
upon.
time- You put time. Well, maybe I'm switching up my definitions. I said for now. You said, do we agree
Okay.
upon that? I said, for now.
Okay.
I don't
Why
remember
does
you
the
saying
universe
that, but maybe you
have to-
did.
Go back. Do you have this?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, like you can change your view if you want.
Yeah. So that's but like the problem is that that's what
Well-
we're interested in debating. Like did a mind create the universe?
And look, if you believe that there was like a super powerful dude that like created Earth out of pre-existing matter, then like fine. But then you just believe in aliens. You don't believe in God.
Well, no. I don't think I believe in aliens, but
You say that like that's more ridiculous.
there is an argument. I think aliens are. I'm not going to say I believe in aliens. I think it's very likely that they exist. I don't know. I don't know much at all.
We grant that.
I pretty much, my philosophy goes about as as far as Plato does in that, to where I don't believe anything, man. How could you be? I don't.
You're
anyway,
thinking of Socrates. Plato believes a lot of things.
No, I'm thinking of Plato. Socrates
is the person who says that I
Yeah,
don't
man,
know
you're good.
anything.
Hey,
That's like Socrates' entire project is that
Wait, so-
Socrates has a single layer of ignorance because he doesn't know, but he knows that he
about that in
doesn't know.
Republican.
Whereas everybody else has 2 layers of ignorance. They don't know, but they don't even know that they don't know.
Did I not
That's
read about that in
Socrates' entire
Republic?
project.
where's that from?
It's from Plato.
Well,
Plato's characterization
where's the
of
idea from?
Socrates.
I thought
Yeah,
I got it
but
from
Plato
Republic.
later in his career develops a variety of beliefs. At the beginning, he tries to like faithfully represent all the things
So I
that
was right.
Socrates says, and then as it goes on, he starts putting words in Socrates' mouth with the development of his forms.
He writes the apology and all these crazy stories and stuff. Yeah.
What?
So what I'm really trying to get at is create an argument that, because I believe that there is an argument to be made that God does exist, and
Then make it.
I think it's inevitable for that argument to be made and be
Then make
right.
it.
Huh?
Make
What's
the
that? I'm sorry.
argument.
I can't hear you very well.
Yeah, make the argument then.
So I'm just trying to explain, like bending my terms,
Okay,
because to come out of an argument like this, you would have to bend your terms. I hope
Why
you don't
the
think I'm
fuck
being like
can't I?
flaky or like wishy-washy, but
But Derek, then you're just not talking about what we're talking about when we talk about God. That's all that's happening.
huh?
We're just
I
talking about
kicked
different
him.
things. Okay, thank you for kicking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a guest named iBeer, but before we do that, we have a super chat or two to read. Why can't I see the super chats? Oh, because I have to log in to... Oh, I missed it.
Oh, I got
one
you.
sec,
Judas,
sorry.
thank you so much for the super chat. Ian Echo on YouTube. Wait, is there?
It sounds like you're in a bathroom.
Oh, okay. So it goes. I'm not sure if there's much to do about that. Maybe I could turn my volume down. What if I did this? Would that make it... Is this better?
Let's find out.
Alas. Okay, whatever. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Judas, thanks so much for the super chat. Where can I get Ian's shirt? I think you just Google it. You just put these words into Google and then it'll pop up. Jonathan.
Yeah, so your echo's really not that bad. It just sounds like you're in a bathroom.
Oh, that's fine. I'll accept that. Jonathan, thank you so much for the super chat. Believer in Bofa. Huh. What's Bofa?
What would be? All right, let's bring up my beer.
Yeah. What's up, Beer?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah. How's it going?
Not much. I'm agnostic. I'm not actually religious or atheist either. My problem with... I kind of lost where I'm going for a second, to be honest. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
That's okay.
But yeah, so I don't believe that the idea of a god is perceivable. Like, so the idea of a god, right? A mind that creates things. My problem with that is it's so humanized to specifically how our brains work in conjunction with reality, if that makes sense. So it's like the only other animals we can actually communicate with properly with language is ourselves, no one else, right? We only speak to humans, we only communicate with humans, we only understand humans. So the idea of a god being a guy, and he's like in your head, he's like whatever, he's giving you advice, he's doing this, he's doing that. I don't necessarily think the idea is harmful, however, I just don't. You know what I mean? It seems very humanized to me. It's something that it only makes sense from a human's perspective, if that makes sense.
I agree. That's why I'm an atheist. I think that the idea of God is a human construction.
Yes, 100%. However,
but if you agree with us, then you're an atheist.
no, I actually don't think I'm an atheist, because I do not believe in the traditional. Okay, maybe an atheist is the wrong term for me, or is the right term. Anyway, if a higher being did exist above us, say, I don't necessarily believe it does, but let's say it did, and it is controlling the things we believe in, how do you understand that? How do you have a relationship with that? How do you even, you know what I mean? So even if it was there, so there is a higher being above us, and he's in control of everything, and you know the atoms between grass, cat's thoughts, you know, it's like if it was there, we wouldn't know anyway. There'd be no way to disprove it because it's beyond the realm of.
Would you be justified in believing in it?
The problem is, I don't think it's necessarily a justification or not. I think it's due to the fact you've grown up in it and it's a part of your mental structure.
It sounds like the answer is no.
So no, no.
So if you don't have a justification for believing in it, then you should be an atheist.
Yeah. If it's like epistemically irresponsible, epistemology, by the way, is like the study of knowledge. It's like how we form beliefs, what justifies beliefs. If there's no epistemic way to justify this belief, if it's epistemically irresponsible to believe, then you shouldn't. You should do the opposite of that.
See, I don't necessarily think if it matters like that deeply, if that makes sense. Because if it's someone's world structure, so you think of an old lady, she bakes every day, she does her normal things every day. Why does it matter if she believes in God or not?
I beer. Put this in a different context.
Yeah.
Let's suppose that somebody has no justification for believing, I don't know, that black people are inferior than white people.
I agree with the point of there is no justification to believe in it. I agree with that. But
so the point is that if there is no justification to believe in something, then there is no reason. I mean, that's literally what justification means.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't believe in it, because believing in it could have consequences that are that came from an unjustified position, and those are negative things.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it's just a bit too much of a binary way to think of how the world works, if that makes sense.
It's just a question of whether you believe in something, and the way that we form beliefs, hopefully rationally, is with justification. If you form beliefs without justification, you're just being irrational.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also unethical. It's unethical to believe things with no reason to believe it, or at least you take on every single bit of like moral responsibility. You know, I'd say if you have a justified belief in something and this justified belief leads to harm, I don't think that you're like morally responsible unless there's like some specific interaction that you played and like did. But if you have like a belief just because it makes you feel better, I think that's unethical, especially if it like leads to harm to other people. You know, you can look to like the Titan submersible collapse. You know, the guy had no evidence that his Titan or that his like submarine was going to survive, and then it fucking didn't, and he's morally responsible for that. He did that, you know. He had faith in this submarine, and then it collapsed and killed like 5 people.
Importantly, we don't call that an accident. We would call it an accident if he had a justified belief that it would work, and then he was wrong.
Yeah, through negligence. I remember that. Also, I saw you do the Jordan Peterson thing.
Hey, thanks.
Other guy. Yeah, that was cool. I like that. But no, I'm basically on your guys' side at the end of the day. But also not
get
really.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, you said you were open to talk to anyone. And I kind of just want to have a conversation about the idea of what religion places in, like how religion, because it's been used by abusive people, it's been used by good people, and it's like, what is your guys' overall view on religion?
Right, but that's not the topic. The topic is about whether God exists. There might be value in religious traditions. That may very well be the case.
Just a mind that created the universe, any of them.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is if there was a mind, because it wouldn't be a mind, because it's a human understanding of what a mind is. If there was something that did create the universe.
What do we disagree on?
So you agree that there could, in theory, be a God that isn't perceivable, right?
If by God we mean a mind that created the universe, then no.
No, because I don't agree with that. I don't think that's how it works.
Then okay. And I'm so sorry, I hate to cut you off, but because there's so many people waiting and we agree, I appreciate you coming on up. But we are only looking for like opposition.
We have some super chats. More super chats from Mitch Manley with the $5. Who needs a fourth horseman when the first three are Ian, Blitz, and Justin? We don't need a fourth horseman. We are an unholy trinity, if you will. However, there is somebody who might be joining us occasionally as a guest. I'll keep that secret for now, though. Then we have $5 from Everyday I'm Struggling. What's the ontology of logic in your worldview? How do you justify phenomenological categories without falling into nominalism? I am a nominalist, so get wrecked, I guess. Ian?
So there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, much like subjective morality is saying, like, your belief is nominalist, your belief is nominalist, like, that's just not compelling. I don't think that pointing out that somebody is a nominalist is actually like a critique of their position. But additionally, I'm inclined to believe that the ontology of logic is just something that's necessitated by the fact that things are distinct from one another. So, for example, I have a blue pen and I have like a black pen. And when I perceive these, the perception is different. There's a difference there. The perception of the blue pen is different from the perception of the black pen. It appears phenomenologically as two different categories, which necessitates that the blue pen, the experience of seeing the blue pen is not the experience of seeing the black pen. The implication of this is that it would be a contradiction to say that the experience of the blue pen is identical to the experience of the black pen, that if something is the experience of the blue pen, then it is not the experience of the black pen. That's the law of non-contradiction. The law of identity can be justified just because the question itself would be incomprehensible if the law of identity was false, and then the law of excluded middle follows trivially from the law of non-contradiction. So that's the explanation of logic. How do you justify phenomenological categories? I'm not really sure what you mean. Like, you experience them. You experience the blue pen. You experience the black pen. That's what it means. That's just what phenomenology is. You have direct access to that.
What a spectacular answer. Now we have some more super chats. From Gymnasty K Betch with the $2. Why do Eastern Orthodox Philbros rely on argument for motion? Ian, do you know this? Do you know why?
No. Typically, it's not Eastern Orthodox. Typically, it's Catholics, and it's
Eastern
Catholics,
Orthodox typically do tag.
Yeah, that's my experience. Or they do like some shitty miracles. Yeah.
Then we have $20 from Flying Farmer.
Oh wait,
Racing.
and also too, I will say the reason why Catholics do it is because Aquinas is so highly regarded in their worldview.
That's true. Yep. So from Flying Farmer Racing with the $20, thank you. Believing in God is called a faith. Creating the universe has nothing to do with faithful religions. Science can put the start of the Big Bang. God is a faith. Trying to make people argue that he exists is a straw man fallacy. I don't know if it's a straw man fallacy. A straw man fallacy would be saying that you believe something you don't believe, or saying that you're arguing for something you don't think is true. The point is that people do believe in God, and we're asking for what the justification is. If you say that you believe in something, typically that means you believe the thing exists in the world, whatever the world might consist of. And so if you have that belief, you should be able to justify it. We have Flying Farmer Racing again with the $5. Religious beliefs are mainly about morality, and even atheists abide by many of these moralities, even if they don't believe in God.
Which ones?
I mean, like there's a lot of different moral systems that pop up, and there's a lot of different religious beliefs, and they don't even all agree on what the moralities are.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the moral argument is like probably the worst one. Anyone who makes the moral argument, you can probably dismiss everything they say about philosophy, maybe ever, or at least until they read more. The moral argument is just straight up not taken seriously by any philosopher. because the burden on the moral arguer is so absurdly high, it's kind of unbelievable, right? Like, if you think the moral argument is compelling, you would need to demonstrate that there's literally no possible way. That you would need to go through thousands of moral systems that have been developed by thousands of philosophers claiming to be moral realist, and then somehow refute every single one of them. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible. What I'm saying is that I've never seen someone do it, and I would be highly skeptical that anyone could.
So from every day I'm struggling with the $20. I love when haters donate. This is the best. Well, not haters, just disagreeers. You talk about evidence. If logic itself is nominal, it undercuts the methodology of science because logic itself has no real world referent. So the findings of science aren't true anymore. They don't mean anything. Well, look, so it depends on what your like ontology or your epistemology of truth is. And if you have like some belief system that like truth exists in the universe, then you might think that, yeah, nominalism falls apart, but nominalists typically don't hold that position. From Juan K with the $5, we need a biologist or anthropologist to complete the Four Horsemen prophecy. Yes, I know a biologist who might be joining us, at least for a bit. And then Flying Farmer Racing with the $2 says, Google strawman fallacy because that's incorrect. Fortunately, I did Google it for you. A strawman fallacy is a type of logical fallacy where someone misrepresents an opponent's argument to make it easier to attack, thus creating a straw man that is easily knocked down instead of addressing the actual argument. So that's why I said that making a strawman fallacy is misrepresenting or incorrectly characterizing someone's view. I didn't add the and then arguing against that because that's kind of implied. But yeah, absolutely, that is exactly what I said. Now, we have a lot of guests to get to, so I suppose that we should start with Martin, yeah?
Yeah, how's it going, Martin?
How you guys doing?
Yeah,
doing all right.
well.
How are you?
I'm doing well. So I'm actually, I'm a Christian. I'm a real Christian. I believe the Bible. I'm a creationist. I believe that the earth is only 6,000 years old.
no.
I believe the Bible says. I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy. But I had a few things to ask. So, Ian, you said earlier, if you have a belief system that hurts people, then it's wrong. That's what you were saying, yes?
No, specifically if you have an unjustified belief and your unjustified belief hurts people, then that's wrong.
So,
if you have a justified belief and your justified belief ends up hurting people, I don't think that that's wrong because you're justified in believing it.
Who is the justifier? Who is the justifier then?
What do you mean?
Who justifies if it's justifiable?
So justification is an epistemological
I justified
category.
myself in this, or
yeah, justification is an epistemological category. It's going to be.
Yeah,
I'm an
earlier, but there's more
internalist
than one meaning for
foundationalist,
that.
so I think that justifications
the
need to stem from
justifier
something
was.
like some sort of like internal factors.
I get it, but who's the justifier? Like, who do you look up
It's
to
a
to say,
category
hey,
error.
Is this okay?
So asking like who's the epistemic justifier is a category error. Epistemic justification is going to be
so I know what
something
I'm
that
talking about.
confers propositional
abortion,
like
Ian?
truthiness towards like
Do you
the
believe in
various
abortion, Ian?
propositions.
Martin, please let Ian finish the sentence.
Oh, he's just kind of repeating himself what he said last time. I want answers. You guys
Yeah,
aren't
I'm
giving
trying to
no
give you
answers. You haven't
answers.
dealt
You know,
with a real
sometimes it's
Christian.
not your turn to talk.
So I 100% comprehended what Ian said.
I can't hear him. He's very low. He's not talking very loud. I can barely hear him.
It would help. You'd be able to hear better if you didn't interrupt.
Right. Well, I asked a question and I'm not getting an answer.
You're getting an answer. Just don't interrupt the answer.
Yeah.
Right. You guys sure are pretty angry when you deal with real
Do you think that
Christians,
we're
I've
the ones
noticed.
who sound angry right now?
Yes, because I asked you who the justifier was, and you start to explain to me your idea of justification. You didn't say who
Do you
the
think
justifier
that's what anger is?
Martin,
Anger
the
is
point
way
is you
worse.
made a category error. That would be like asking.
In your
That would be
guide-
like asking what does green taste like.
That's
It's
weird.
a category error.
So who created the Big Bang?
Double
that's a
you
real
pivot.
question.
Yeah.
You
Well,
see how you-
so we can-
Well, I'm just
we can talk
using the
about
same
that.
kind of ideology that you just used.
So,
What
Martin, we
green
can talk
taste
about that in a minute, but as long as you're willing to acknowledge that you're pivoting off of the justification
I'm not
argument,
trying
because
to pivot. I asked you okay,
What
who
an
is the
insane
justifier?
pivot.
So if someone says abortion's wrong, are they justified in that? If someone says
it
it's
depends on what the reasoning is.
Wait, are we
That's how
talking
you establish
epistemic
whether there's
justification or are we
justification.
talking like
Murder.
ethical justification?
right, so how come when someone murders a pregnant woman,
That
they
was a
get
question.
double homicide?
That was a question.
I'm just wondering.
That was a question. Wait,
I
so are
can't
you
hear you,
talking
bud. You gotta
ethical
speak up a little bit. I'm
justifications
sorry,
or are you
what?
talking epistemic justifications?
Maybe turn up your
Well, it
volume.
depends on how you're past. You're asking about God, right? If
I'm
God's real,
asking
so I
you for
figured we were
clarification. You're
talking in
asking
that sense.
you're using the word justification, and I'm trying to get clear. Do you mean
There you go. I can
epistemic
hear you way better
justifications,
now.
or do you mean like what sort of justification are you talking
Biblical
about?
justification, Ian. I'm a Christian. The stream is about, is God real?
So ethical justification?
I mean, I guess if that's how you want to break it down. But
Oh,
see,
sure,
what happens
yeah.
is you guys do that. You make more categories for things that don't need to have categories.
I have no idea. I don't even know how to parse that
Well,
sentence.
here, a good
that you
example. I
said.
just asked you, is abortion okay?
Sometimes. My answer is sometimes.
Okay.
I want to say,
Sometimes.
I'm
So-
inclined to say that it should be legal all 9 months, but my moral system dictates that it's fine up until sentience occurs around 6 months.
Right. So what you did just now was take a human life and degrade it into scientific jargon so you can
No, I
justify
didn't.
killing a human. That's what you just did.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so it's a human
What was the
being.
scientific jargon? Let's get clear.
Well, let's get clear. It's a human being, is
Wait,
it
wait,
not?
wait. You said I used scientific jargon. What was the piece of
Yes.
scientific jargon, or are you just like short-circuiting following your script?
No one's short-circuiting. You see, those little
Yeah,
personal
so
attacks
what's
don't work
the
with me.
scientific jargon that I used?
Basically, 9 months. I would have it up to 9 months. But
So
Do you think
9.
9
9
is the
months is scientific jargon?
But at 6 months, when it's actually a human, then no, you guys don't believe it's even a human, right?
Well, it's like a,
It's
like a
obviously
human.
a human organism.
Yeah.
So then you agree it's murder.
No.
No.
Because murder is an
So it's-
unjustified killing. And I
So
don't grant that
because
it's
one
unjustified.
person, so what you're saying is because one person makes it justifiable in their brain, and the other person has no idea. The person you're killing that has its own DNA and
I don't
soul
grant
and
that it's
brain,
a person prior to
Yeah.
say 20 or 24
It's a
weeks.
human being. It's a
Yeah.
person. The word
Human being
person
doesn't
means-
equal
those two-
person.
That's an equivocation fallacy.
It's
Yeah.
not at all. Human beings
is.
are persons. We have persons.
No, not all human beings are persons.
Explain that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so generally we consider a person to be something that is deserving of rights. We consider a person to be something that is capable of having subjective experience.
So what's a right?
In fact, I would consider, if Superman existed, I would consider Superman to be a person despite not being a human, right? So a person is a category of that has to do with, conscious experience, that has to do with rights, that has to do with,
Okay. What is a right?
perhaps social interaction.
Yeah. A right is an outward-facing ought claim.
Sure. What is a right?
I just self-do an outward-facing ought
You
claim.
just got a definition.
No.
Yeah.
I want to know detailed. I like
Yeah,
what is a
well,
right?
that's
So
the
is a right,
definition
like,
of a
taking
right.
something?
It's an
So if I was to
outward-facing ought
rob
claim.
you-
It's a universal ought claim that faces outward. So if I have like a right to freedom and well-being, what
This
that
is an
means is that I
enormous
have like
pivot,
an
by the way.
outward-facing ought claim to say that
It's not
you
a pivot.
ought
I'm trying to
not
figure out
interfere
what
with
you
my
guys
freedom and
believe.
well-being.
Basically,
We
you
don't
guys
believe in God.
worldview.
We don't believe the earth is
I know you don't
6,000
believe
years
God.
old.
That's
We
not it.
don't
I'm trying to get
we don't believe that Jesus rose from the dead. We don't believe that a mind created the universe. We don't believe that a
mind.
mind kicked off the Big Bang.
Mind. You guys keep saying that. Where does this
Yes.
say anywhere that Christians believe that God is a mind?
Yeah, I'm happy to pull up the verses for you. All the verses that
No,
refers
I
to
have
the
my
mind
Bible
of
right here in
God.
front of me, buddy. Just tell me.
Yeah,
I'll
I
pull it
got you.
myself.
Yeah, so the mind of God verse. We have 1 Corinthians 2:16.
Hold on,
I'll
let me
read it
get
to you.
No, because I don't know what version you're using. You might be using some wacky.
Yeah,
woke
whatever.
version.
Which version would you like to use?
It's called the Legacy Standard Bible.
Okay.
It was called the NSAB. It just got renamed. I'm sorry. Does that bother you?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird
Yeah,
that bothers you.
I got you. So 1 Corinthians 2:16 in the Legacy Standard Bible.
There you
For
go.
who
Yeah,
has
it's the
known the
closest-
mind
listen,
of
it's
the
the
Lord
closest to the
that he
original
will
Greek and
direct
Hebrew,
him?
so-
But we have the mind of Christ. So it says that the Lord has a mind. It says, "Who has known the mind of the Lord," implying that there is a mind of the Lord.
Okay, so can I answer you?
I didn't ask a question.
Well, you were though. You were asking
You
a
asked,
question because
what's the,
you guys
like, why
claim
should I think
God's
that
a
Christians
mind.
believe that God is a mind? And then here's the verse where it says that God
You
is
just
a
read
mind.
it. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, say that again. I didn't hear you.
I don't understand. You guys are pretending like God's this thing. What you're doing is it's also a fallacy. It's a red herring, where you guys are turning God into everything. He's
What the
three
fuck?
persons. We have a
Very
trinity.
specific thing.
So we have
Very
a trinity.
specific thing.
Can I
A mind
finish?
that created the universe.
Crap. You guys just yelled at me for the same stuff. We
What?
believe in a trinity. Okay, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
I didn't ask. What the fuck?
It doesn't matter. You're trying to make everything into one, and that's not what we believe. You're misrepresenting Christianity.
So you're not a monotheist.
Explain what you think a monotheist is, because
Someone who believes that God is one.
Different things. I believe in God, Yahweh, the God of the Bible.
Okay. Is God one being or three beings?
He's one being, three persons.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's called the Trinity. Maybe you should read
so
upon it.
we do not believe that a being created the universe.
That's good for you, but I'm trying to tell you why it did happen. And
Yeah,
it's not a
please.
being,
Look,
by the way.
You asked us earlier what it is that we believe.
Yeah.
I was clarifying.
Right. Okay. I'm happy you clarified. I understand the thesis of the talk. Like,
Okay.
so what's going on here is what you guys are doing is creating your own God. That's what you've done. You've created your own God out of science and out of, ignorance and out of whatever. You see? You see how he's acting?
What does that even mean? What does it even mean?
I can't even get a word out without your friend acting like a child.
Yeah, because you're just meta rambling. Nobody fucking cares about your meta commentary. Just make an argument.
You meta commentary.
Yeah, so right now the argument, as the argument stands, I have premise one. Premise two. Boo-hoo.
As we try from the
do you want to give like an argument that's more than just like whining?
I'm trying.
Yeah, please go for it.
Give an argument. And by the way, Martin, just to preface this, an argument shouldn't involve.
You guys have just proven how ignorant.
Martin, I'm trying to be very, very cordial with you. I'm trying to be very, very cordial with you.
You are, but your friend's not.
So with respect, I am 8 years older than Ian, so
Yeah. Also, I give what I receive. To be clear,
I'm 40.
So Martin, an argument for some belief system that you hold should not invoke my beliefs or Ian beliefs. It should be some set of premises, perhaps some pieces of evidence that defend your belief system. You shouldn't have to invoke my belief system at all.
Can I answer that?
Go ahead.
God,
please.
the cross offends. That's the point. The Bible says it. Jesus said, not everybody will believe. There will be those who persecute you. There will be those who put you to death, which happened then and it's happening now all over the world. The only name that gets dragged through the mud is Christ. It's not Muhammad or Joseph Smith.
Is this an argument
Buddha,
for God?
You don't hear people say, "Oh, Buddha Christ" or anything making his name. I swear, it's always Jesus that's being.
Is this an argument for God existing,
yes,
or is this just an argument for
the reason you guys
Jesus
don't believe in God is because
Christians
you don't
being
want to be
annoying?
accountable. It's accountability all day.
we got a mind reader. This guy's like, he's hooked up to the polygraph.
You guys couldn't actually have a real conversation with real Christians because you guys act.
Well, no. I just want the argument.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give it to you, but every time I say something, you're like, "Well, is that okay? Is that right?" And then your friend says a bunch of ignorant comments.
Look, Martin. Your argument that you just gave.
People I've ever met in my entire life. I've met people in cults that are nicer.
Martin, your argument that you just gave is. I
haven't even finished my argument. You guys won't let me.
Yeah, you aren't giving
one. Why did you
one.
bring up my psychological state? Why did you bring up my psychological state?
I'm telling you what the Bible says. You guys want to know what
what's the
Christians
evidence
believe?
that
I'm
the
telling you
Bible's
what
true?
it says. You guys don't like it.
What's the evidence that the Bible's true?
What's the evidence that you're right?
Oh yeah, that's easy. The existence of things like earthquakes, cancer, all these things are highly unexpected.
Which is all in the Bible.
I'm sorry. Yeah, why?
Happens, and the Bible says it all happens because of sin.
Yeah, how would you explain the fact that dinosaurs had cancer?
He doesn't believe that dinosaurs pre-existed humans.
Okay, that's weird. I guess all animals get it. Dogs and cats get it. My old dog
but they had cancer millions of years before humans even existed, so it can't come from humans because it happened before
we disagree
humans.
There, we're finding dinosaur bones nowadays with living tissue and DNA still on it.
Yeah, because of Fenton reactions, they weren't exposed to oxygen. They're still millions of years old, like close to 100 million years old.
Scientific channel, by the way. This wasn't a Christian that I watched do this. This was a person that
I just explained to you. I just told you why there's soft tissue. It's because of Fenton reactions. They weren't exposed to oxygen.
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Do you want the study? I'll give you the study.
65 million. I'm just saying carbon dating should say that those bones should have nothing.
We would never
on them.
use carbon dating for a thing like this.
Oh, that's what they literally use.
No,
for
they
dinosaur
don't.
bones.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Carbon dating is used for things that are 50,000 years old or less. They use uranium lead dating, argon dating. They use potassium argon dating. They use potassium dating. They use other dating methods for things that are quite old.
So you're saying they never use carbon dating for dinosaurs?
No.
Carbon dating is not used on dinosaurs.
All right. Well, then I will make sure to. Okay. All right. I'll tag you guys in a video later.
Yeah.
That's
so also,
from
if you're
the Discovery
interested,
Channel.
the study, it comes from Paleontologia Electronica, soft tissue and fossil bones. Recent studies identify Fenton reactions as a plausible preservation mechanism for cells and soft tissue within bones, document the chemical signatures of Fenton reactions in the cells and soft tissue of fossil bones, and indicate that such preservation occurs early in diagenesis and is facilitated by oxidizing depositional environments.
There you go.
And by protection via external concretions and other factors. So Fenton reactions are why there's soft tissue. How do you explain the fact that all the radiometric dating on dinosaur bones comes back as them being like hundreds of millions of years old?
Bro, anybody can look up anything and find justification like you just did. Yeah, from one study. one.
How many do you want? Do you have any
I don't
studies?
know, but usually you take a group of studies when you do stuff like this. What you're doing is
How many
just trying to
studies?
look
Give me an
smart.
exact number of
Can I
studies
get
that would
back to what I was
convince you.
talking about the Bible?
Can I get an exact
answer your
no,
guys'
because what
question
I
about God
want is an
existing?
exact number of studies. What's the exact number of studies that will convince you that dinosaurs are real?
4 large pizzas.
Okay. Yeah, he's doing a meme troll response
bro.
because he won't give a real
Totally.
response. He knows that if he
Well, I can give you any amount,
if he sets
100,
his foot
1,000,
down on
I don't
any
know. What
solid
number do
ground,
you
he's going to
want?
get torn to
What you
shreds,
just
which
did
is why
was jump to an
all he can
article
do
that
is
you've
meme
read
and troll.
before.
He's scared of actually
Yes,
giving a
people read
position.
them.
Scared. I'm literally here
You are
begging you
scared.
guys to let me finish my argument.
Yeah, we're begging to hear the argument.
So an
I
argument
mean, I'm
looks like
trying,
premise,
dude, but
premise,
you
conclusion.
clearly were raised with no father. You talk
I
like
do
an
have a father.
asshole, bro.
Yeah.
You treat
My
people
parents
like
are literally
garbage
still
for no
married.
You're so angry for no
Do you think I'm in any
reason.
sense angry?
Yes.
Okay.
You can talk real. Listen, bro. You could talk real slow and low if you want all day, but I can see your facial. I can see the way you're saying. You're so angry, bro. Why are you so mad? Why you hate God so much?
Yeah, he's not real.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
hate him.
very
He's just not
obvious,
real.
young guy. Listen, young kid. It's very obvious. I lived that life. I used to be an atheist. I used to hate
Oh, I used to be a
God.
Christian, and then I found
Martin,
logic.
can I ask you a question?
I doubt. No,
just-
you weren't, because the
just in
Bible
the
says that
interest
you
of-
can't be a Christian and then not be a Christian. You are.
Oh,
or you're
well,
not.
wait. So
Don't
then
change.
the fact that I went from being a Christian to not being a Christian means that the Bible is false.
Wrong. I can prove you right now with the Bible that you were never a Christian. Ready? Tell me how you were a Christian, and I'll show you what the Bible says.
Oh yeah, I was baptized, I believed, and then one day my friend
wait,
came
you think
along and
being
gave me an
baptized makes
argument
you a
against
Christian?
God's existence, and then
Okay,
just disproved it for me.
So here, that wasn't. So you got saved by a baptism, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I got baptized, I believed in it, I did
so-
all that stuff. I went to
okay, so
church,
the
and
guy
then
on the
one day a
cross-
friend gave me a logical argument, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. I guess God doesn't exist.
So do you think that you have to be baptized to be a Christian?
No, I don't take a stance on that.
Okay, well, that was weird how you led with that. So let me tell you what the Bible says. In Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9, it says that you're saved by grace through faith, not of your own works.
Yeah, I had faith.
Not of your own works.
I had faith, and
no
my
man
friend
can boast.
presented me a logical argument.
So no man can boast. You just completely ignored what I said. The Bible says that you were saved by grace through faith. You didn't have real faith because you
did.
didn't stay saved. You're not a Christian anymore.
I
so
did.
was
I
it real?
believed.
So you weren't an atheist? Is
No,
that the stance?
I mean, I guess, but atheism isn't a belief.
You're right.
I know I'm right.
Atheism
I don't
is not a
understand.
belief.
Listen,
It's-
you
it's
were
lack of
never a
belief.
Christian. What you were was a nominal Americanized Christian that felt like you needed to do it. You did it. You never read your Bible. You never prayed. You didn't do the things
I did.
clearly because now you hate him so much for no
No, I
reason.
did pray. I
and
did
you
read
keep
my
using
Bible. I
things
did
like
all
the
that
Big Bang.
stuff.
Can I finish? Holy.
Sure, go for it.
I mean, Martin, do you know Ian personally? Because you're assuming a
No, I
lot
don't
of like.
have to though. You can tell by the way
Oh,
he acts and talks.
But then you just got it wrong though. You got like the
Okay,
historical
so
data
everything
wrong.
that you just said about the guy that was on before me. Okay, not the long hair guy, the other guy. So that guy, when you guys were telling him that what he believed and how wrong he was about things, and that was okay. But when I'm telling you that I can tell just by talking to you, young man, that you
Oh, but
have a lot
it's
of
just-
anger in you.
Yeah,
Like,
we
you
got
need to
a
blaming the
goddamn
Bible
mind
and
reader
God,
over here.
And you're blaming the Bible and God. And I'm
Nobody's
showing you
blaming
in the
the
Bible that
Bible.
you said that you saved yourself. You said you believe. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says that God saves you. You don't ask God to save you. Nowhere in the Bible do you see
So,
that.
Martin,
That's American.
how would you define what a Christian is?
A Christian is a follower of Jesus Christ and his teachings.
Yeah, I was.
So does that mean believing that Jesus Christ's teachings were good, believing that Jesus
No,
rose
what
from
do you
the
mean
dead,
good? Jesus
believing
said
that
no one is good but God.
Okay, wait, Martin, I was like in the middle of a sentence.
I get it, bro, but you're making things up that don't go. You don't know
Okay,
what the Bible says clearly.
Quiet Coyote. Let me finish my sentence, then you can talk, right? So, being a follower of Jesus means something like accepting Jesus into your heart,
Wrong.
believing all of these
Wrong.
things that
The Bible
like
never says
praying,
that, buddy. The Bible
reading
never
the
says
Bible.
that. It
Okay,
never
so then
says that.
define it. Define what being a follower of Christ is.
A follower of Christ is someone
Define that.
follows.
Explain.
I'm trying. And his teachings. So that means the entire Bible. You
Yeah,
get it?
okay. So if Ian believed that,
Jesus
then it's
existed
fine.
before he was a human being. You get it?
Look, if Ian believed that the Bible was true, then Ian was a Christian.
But he didn't believe
I
the
did.
Bible's true. If one conversation with a friend was
did.
able to sway him away.
It was a logical argument. I follow logic.
It doesn't matter if it's logical. If you believe the
Logic doesn't
Bible, you
matter.
would believe the Bible over any
Do you
man's
think? Wait, if I
argument.
gave you a logical argument that disproved the Bible, would you accept it?
No,
Oh, that's
because
embarrassing
it's not
for you.
logical. It's only logical to you if it's made to be logical.
Wait, so I'm telling
But
you, if it
have
was
to
a
deny
logical
fundamental things
argument,
about
if you
God.
determined that it was a logical argument, would you
have to-
accept
you
it?
are you have to deny fundamental parts of Christianity to do what you did, Ian.
I don't think so.
I do
I have
think
a-
so. Do you believe that Jesus rose from the dead
Right now, no.
right now? So you're saying that you did at one point?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a
So
Christian, I
then
believed he rose from the dead. Now I don't
the
believe
Apostle
that.
Paul talks about, the false Christians, the false believers.
If that's what you want to call people who
No,
follow
that's what the
logic and
Bible
get
calls
convinced
you,
out of
Ian.
it, shh,
That's
shh,
what the
shh,
Bible calls you. You see,
If
you
that's what
understand
you
you
want
don't
to
like
call
when the
people
Bible
who
speaks
follow
back to
logic
you,
and
Ian. This
then
isn't
leave
about
your
what I believe,
religion
bro. This is
because
about
the
what it
logic
says.
leads them away from the religion,
It
like you
doesn't
can
lead
call them
anybody-
false
how much
Christians.
better is your
I'm
life,
not going
Ian,
to believe
now?
a logical contradiction. Maybe you want to believe logical contradictions. I'm not going to do that though.
Right. I believe the word of God.
But
It's called faith.
would you believe in a logical contradiction?
I mean, I don't know.
Martin.
Give me one.
Sure.
Martin, can I
okay.
ask you a question?
Hold on.
A
Let me
hypothetical?
hear his logical contradiction.
Yeah, do you
Give me
think-
one that swayed you away from the Bible. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Do you think that genocide is morally perfect?
You see what you just did? That's a leftist argument. That's a lefty argument. Yeah.
Do you think-
genocide? So what he's
you
doing
think
is
that this
trying
is
to
an
use the
answer to
Old
my
Testament.
question?
Can I answer it?
Was it going to be a yes or a no, or is it going to be like
Whoa,
meta
no, I'm not going to
commentary?
answer you like that because that's
Oh,
what you
okay,
want.
yeah. Well, then I'm just
That's what
gonna
you
I'm
want.
gonna
Or
keep
who
on
are you
asking the
talking
question.
about in the Bible? Are you talking about
So
David?
we got Dodge number
Who are you
one. Let's
talking
get
about
try
in the
number
Bible,
two.
Ian?
You're a
Ian,
land
who
of
are
the
you talking
slaughter.
about?
You're scared to
David?
answer the question. You refuse to
Saul?
answer the question, but the question is very
Which
easy. The
king are we
question is
talking
just:
about?
Is it
It's 'cause you
morally
won't give me
perfect to
details.
command
I
a
refuse to
genocide?
answer
Is
a yes, no
commanding
question,
genocide
buddy.
morally perfect? Yes or no?
It depends on when it happens. And
It
how
depends.
happens.
Yeah. So what are the circumstances that justifies turning babies into baby paste with swords?
Well, I don't know. You actually do that same thing with abortion.
But I'm asking you, when is it
I get
morally
that, but
justified
you
to
literally
turn
believe the thing you're
sentient
blaming me
babies?
for right now.
When is it morally justified to turn sentient babies into baby paste?
When is it morally justifiable to rip a baby out of a woman?
Answering a question with
Yeah,
a
when it's
question is not a good way to
nonsentient.
I mean,
answer a
I'm just
question.
saying he literally believes what he's blaming me
Yeah,
for.
yeah. When it's
Can you
non-sentient
answer
is
a
my
question
answer.
straight for once?
It's so weird. So it's not okay for God to command, something, but it's okay for you guys to agree to kill a baby.
Well, God's not
Martin,
real,
the question,
right?
The
Oh
question,
my gosh. Well, I'll
Martin,
talk about
Martin.
the kettle black.
Martin, the question is to show a contradiction in your
Not a
own
contradiction.
worldview.
God does what he does
Martin.
because that's what he does.
Martin, the point is that if we can show a contradiction in your
That's not a
worldview, then your worldview is
contradiction. How is it a
We're not done
contradiction?
yet. We haven't even gotten there yet. But you bringing up my worldview or Ian's worldview is irrelevant for
But
the
you can
internal
bring up
critique.
my worldview.
You asked what the contradiction is. We're
No, you
offering it.
asked why God is real. Did you not read the title of your own stream?
Wait, you asked me for the contradiction and I
Holy
presented
crap.
one. You don't like the contradiction, but you realize
It's
that
not
it
a
is a contradiction,
You
which is
literally
why you need
believe
to
it in
pivot
your
away.
life. In
That's
your
why you're
life,
so
it's okay
desperately
when it comes to
clawing to get
abortion.
away from this
But if God
argument because you
commanded the
recognize
Hittites
that it's
to
a
be wiped out
contradiction.
by the
You
Israelites,
recognize
it's
that it's an absurdity, and you're
Are you a
terrified.
pastor in-
You can't
are you a
engage with
pastor
the
in something you
argument.
went
You
to
refuse
seminary?
to.
How is it any different than what you believe about abortion?
Yeah, because the abortions that I support are of non-sentient fetuses, whereas
Okay,
you
see?
support
So
God
what
turning
you're
an entire
doing is
nation of
denying
babies into
personhood.
baby paste.
It's not a human being. So it's a human being
No,
if
it's a
it's
human
in the
being.
Bible,
It's not a
but
person.
it's not a human being if
We've
it's in a
already been
girl
over this,
named
but I
Anne,
grant,
and he's an
right?
abortion.
Because you're like a
Right.
geriatric fuck, because you got slammed so hard in this
Right.
dialectic, you're
No,
concussed.
nobody got
You don't
slammed or
remember
anything,
what
bro.
I
Why
said
don't you talk
earlier,
like
but
a
what we
man,
said
like an
earlier is
adult?
that it's a
Try
human
talking
being, but
like
it's
an
not a
adult,
person.
Ian.
It's pretty
I know
simple.
it's hard. Your
It's a
friend
pretty
does it.
simple
Why can't you?
distinction.
Why can't you, Ian?
So
I'm not going to be nice to someone like you.
Act
You're
like
a
an adult.
dickhead.
You
Both
don't
of
have to
y'all.
be
You're a
nice, dude, but you
dickhead.
can
I'm not
all
going to
be
be
an
nice
both
to
of
you.
y'all.
You're a dickhead.
Quiet coyote, okay? Quiet coyote,
Oh, what
both of
a
y'all.
fool. What an angry,
Quiet coyote.
childish fool.
Martin, quiet coyote.
I'm
okay.
sorry.
So look,
Such a child.
what an internal critique is it's when you assume somebody's worldview and then you see if there are any internal contradictions, right? If I believed that the sky was blue, but I also believed that air was green, and the sky is made of air, then there would be a contradiction in my worldview because I would be forced to believe the sky is blue and also that the sky is green. That would be a contradiction.
You understand what you
Ian
just said?
So
I'm asking a
Yes.
question for real. You just said
Yes.
that air can have a color.
No.
air does have a color, by the way. But the point is that this
Okay.
was a
No, your friend just said no. Okay, I don't.
Yeah,
really
I thought
believe-
that was the point, is that it was like a category error. Or maybe I
no.
misheard.
Air does have a color. Like
Okay.
absolutely, air does have a color. It is blue. But the point is that The point is that if you have a worldview that leads to two conclusions that are mutually contradictory, then you should abandon that worldview. Now, what Ian is doing is Ian is asking, in the worldview that you hold, is XYZ thing good or bad? And then we're going to go down that rabbit hole again, examining the worldview, and we're going to see if there's a contradiction or not.
Well, I guess you have to define definitions, though.
Asking what Ian's worldview is, bringing up some point about Ian's worldview is a complete red herring. It's just completely unrelated to the line of questioning.
But you can do it to me, though.
So Martin, the reason why Ian started going down this line of questioning about...
Those are hypocrites, bro.
Martin, the reason why Ian started going down this line of questioning is because you asked what the contradiction is.
There is no contradiction, though. I don't believe there's a contradiction. You guys believe there's a contradiction.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. I just don't think that abortion, or I just don't think that genocide is morally perfect. I'm sorry. I just don't think genocide's morally perfect.
Okay, well, abortion's not morally perfect. It's the same thing. You know how many babies have died since abortion took place starting in the 70s?
Yeah, wait, do you understand this is what whataboutism?
So Martin,
millions of children of children have lost their lives.
In both me and Ian's worldview, abortion isn't morally perfect. It's not some morally perfect thing because we're not morally perfect agents. It's irrelevant. The reason why Ian brought up all of the genocides in the Hebrew Bible.
He wanted to find a gotcha moment. That's why.
No, it's because it's because God explicitly says, or it's explicitly described of God, that God is morally perfect, and then God commands something that you and I both know is not morally perfect.
According to you.
Wait, do you think that genocide is morally perfect?
Absolutely. Oh. When it was commanded in the Bible, yes. Do you know what happened? Do you know the peoples that were wiped out and what they were doing?
They lost one battle 400 years prior. The Amalekites attacked the Israelites once 400 years prior, and then God said, "That's it. I'm going to wipe them out." And then He slaughters their great grandchildren. He waits 400 years to slaughter their grandchildren.
What were the Amalekites doing?
Your buddy's just rambling.
So what were the Amalekites doing at the time of the genocide?
Worshipping false gods, killing kids.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, can I get the verse?
What verse does it say that?
Wait, yeah, what verse does it say that they're killing kids? Please, I'd love the verse.
No, it's not. It's not. That's the weird thing. It's just not. In fact,
by the way,
God explicitly explains why the Amalekites are being genocided. He gives the reason
in there. You just said it wasn't in there.
Yeah, what you said
the whole worshiping false gods business, that wasn't in there. The reason why no, it's not.
And before that, it was Moloch. Yes, it was.
Wait, let's just read the verse. Easy.
Go ahead.
So Babylon wasn't judged either, right?
1 Samuel 15, and then we'll go to let's pull up like a real version of the Bible. Oh, you like LSB?
This is what happens with this Ian guy. Doc, is there a way I can talk to you without him? Because you're literally the only one.
Nope. Usually a 3-person show, but our third is missing.
Well.
Okay, let's read the verse. I know you're terrified of the verse. You're scared of the verse. You don't want to hear the verse because you're terrified of it. Oh, then let's hear it. Let's read the verse. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, I will punish Amalek for what he did to Israel. Now, how he set himself against him on the way while he was coming up from Egypt. Now go and strike Amalek and devote to destruction all that he has. And do not spare him, but put to death both man and woman, infant and nursing baby, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. So God says, because of what they did in Egypt 400 years prior, I'm going to slaughter the babies today.
It's not what they did in Egypt 400 years prior.
Then
it's
you
what
just
they did
didn't hear
to
the
Israel.
verse.
It's what they did to Israel.
Where?
Not Egypt. Not
Where?
Egypt. No
What did they do to Israel?
Where did they do this?
Israel?
Where?
It could have been in California, bro.
Where?
It didn't matter. It's what they did to the people of Israel. Israel's not a group. It's not a state. It's a people.
Let's try putting our listening ears on. I'll read the verse one more time.
No, I heard
Thus
the verse,
says
bro.
Yahweh
it
of
said
hosts,
what they did to Israel.
I will punish Amalek for what he did to Israel, how he set himself against him on the way while he was coming up from
It doesn't
Egypt.
matter where they
now
are, bro.
go and
It could be
strike
in text.
Amalek and devote to
That's not what you
destruction all that
understand.
he
You're not
has, and
focused
do
on the
not
part of the
spare
verse
him,
that needs to be
but put to
focused
death
on.
both man and woman,
Wait, hold
infant
on,
and
hold on.
nursing baby,
He's not,
ox
bro.
and sheep, camel and donkey.
He's not
Ian,
listening to himself.
So Martin, the important point is that
No, the important point says it literally says because of what he did to Israel.
Yeah.
it says what he did to Israel when he waylaid them as they came up from Egypt.
And then set against them. And then it says because of Egypt, blah, blah, blah. Listen, it could have been in California.
No.
Listen,
no.
it could have been
It
in
explicitly
Ohio.
says.
Finish.
It explicitly says what the punishment is for, what
But it
action it
doesn't
was.
say because of.
what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came up from Egypt.
Yeah, they could have been coming up for anywhere. You don't. Your foot.
Yeah.
That's from
Not
Egypt.
the thing.
We agree.
It says from
Wait,
Egypt.
he's like grabbing onto the fact that it says from Egypt to try to derail to an irrelevant point. Wait, do you agree that what happened in Egypt was 400 years prior to the genocide?
I guess I don't know the time. I would have to
Yeah,
go look
cool.
and
Wait,
read
so do you
and
think it's
see.
justified to punish people's ancestors 400 years in the future for a crime that they committed?
I mean, I guess. I mean, because I know I could flip this on you right now, but you won't
Wait,
like
so
it. and
do
I'll
you
get-
agree
guys will
that a
talk
just
over me.
punishment
Do you think
punishes
it's
people who
okay
did
that-
wrong?
Do you think it's okay that the Palestinians
Do you
attacked the
think that this
Israelis
is an
before what
answer to my
happened? You see what I'm
question?
saying? I could do that same thing
Do you
back
think
to
that
you.
this is an answer to my question?
Yes.
What was
because
my
I could do
question?
the same thing back to you. And
Yeah, what do you think my
won't answer it.
question was? Go ahead.
You're basically trying to guilt trip me into saying.
Yeah, he has
that
no idea what the
genocide's
question
okay,
is.
blah,
The
blah, blah,
question
blah, blah,
was,
blah.
does a
You see
just
how I couldn't
punishment
even answer?
people
I
who
couldn't
did
even get a
wrong?
word out before you freaked out, bro.
Yeah,
Why are
because you
such a
weren't giving
triggered
the
little
answer.
girl?
You gave a false answer. Wait, yeah, sure. I
It's not a
give the
false
question
answer.
twice
I said
now.
one word.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
said one
Yeah,
word.
tell
and
us
you
what you think the question was. Go for it. Yeah, what do you think the question
I
was? Go
said
for it.
one word, bro.
Calm
one
down.
word, and
What do you think the
stopped me.
question was?
I can't even tell you.
Yeah, go.
I-
Oh,
you
I
literally,
grant that.
You literally
I
let
grant
me say
that.
one word before you cut me off like a little girl.
Go for it.
Like a little angry 16-year-old girl that's not getting her way.
Do you think that
that's
I'm
how
the
you're
one who
talking
sounds
right
angry?
now, bro? You're talking like a girl. Like you talk you talk feminine.
Martin, I'll repeat the question
I'm not
so
even
we can get
lying
an
to you. I'm not
answer
even
for
trying to be
you.
rude.
The
You
question
talk like
is,
a really
does a
angry
just
teenage
punishment
girl.
punish people who did wrong?
God does what he does because that's what he does.
If
I
God
can
raped
flip
a
it around
child,
on
would
you.
that be
I can flip
just?
it around on you, but you won't like it. And you
If
won't
God
answer it, and
raped
you'll
a child,
talk over
would that
me
be
and-
just?
Like you're doing right now.
If God raped a child, would that be just?
Does God rape children? Can you show me
Yeah,
where that
Mary was
happens?
13.
Mary was 13. Can you show
Yeah.
me where the Bible says that?
Yeah, well, that's just going to come from Jewish tradition.
Jewish tradition.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we're going off Jewish tradition.
What religion do you think Mary
Can you
was?
show me? Can you show me in the Tanakh where it says that?
Wait, what religion do you think Mary was?
Mary was Jewish.
Yeah.
Just
So
like
at the
Joseph.
time, it was the case that
Yeah, but
Jewish
can you show me
girls
that in the
got
Tanakh
married and
or-
impregnated
or
at
the
the
New
age
Testament?
of 13. Mary
Can you
was
show
13.
me that in Scripture? Because
It's
where else
just
would you have
it's
found that
a matter of
outside?
scholarly consensus.
Oh, now so it's okay to go
Do you-
outside the Bible. But
Well,
it's not
yeah,
okay
if it's a matter of
okay.
scholarly
Okay,
consensus,
sure.
yeah, you can go off of the historical evidence, yeah.
All right. But you don't. But
Yeah,
you're
so that's
believing
where
a
God
man's-
does
so-
it, yeah.
But you're believing men's word at that point, right?
Oh,
How
you
old do
do
you think
too,
Mary
but you
was?
just don't know it.
No, it's not that I don't. I went to school for this. I speak
Did
Hebrew
you?
and Greek.
Did you?
Yes. You won't let
Interesting.
me
Wait,
say
did you went to
anything,
seminary?
bro. You literally won't let me talk. You keep cutting me off like a child.
Yeah,
You
what do
would
you want to
never
say?
be able to do a public moderated debate. Your boy could. That doc dude could. But you
Oh yeah.
don't have
Wait, do you want to
don't have
do
it
you want to
in
go on
you.
modern day debates?
You can't. No. I
Yeah,
don't.
you're
Not with you,
terrified.
buddy.
I wouldn't
Maybe
want to
with
go
your
on
friend.
modern day
No.
debates with me
No,
either.
buddy.
Holy shit, dude.
If you could,
Yeah, this
if
guy's
you had
fucking
to shut your
terrified.
mouth, if you couldn't talk and they took your mic off, so you could, yes, I would.
Yeah, we could do it like that. I'd be happy
You
to do a
literally are
debate of
so
that
angry
sort.
about nothing.
Do you think that
You
I'm the
can't
one who
prove a
sounds
single thing.
angry?
Everything you say that's bad in the Bible,
I'm
you literally
cool as a
believe in your life.
cucumber, and you've never been more mad in your entire life than you are
I'm
right
not
now.
mad, bro.
You
this
are.
is not me mad. Why do you think
Martin,
that's
you-
another
you
thing
went
that's
to-
really
Martin,
weird?
did you go to seminary?
No, I didn't go to seminary. I went to
Where'd you learn
college.
Hebrew and Greek?
In college.
Nice. What'd you study, if you don't mind me asking?
Pastoral ministries. I went to Ohio Christian University. Called Pastoral Ministries.
And so, like, you're fluent in Hebrew and Greek?
No, not fluent, but I can speak some of it, yeah. I can read it.
Can you name
Well, I can read
a?
it too, but
You
that
can
doesn't
read
mean
it?
that I can speak it. Yeah, I
can read it.
Yeah.
Which one?
Both.
Which one?
Martin, can you
Both
name
Greek and Hebrew.
you
Which
totally
Greek?
might be able to do this, right?
Oh,
Like
I
I'm
mean,
open
I
to the
can read the
possibility of
Greek
you actually
script.
being able to speak,
Okay,
but
right.
So
do you
Koine Greek,
could
you
you
mean?
name like two
Sure.
verbal or two Hebrew verbal stems?
I mean, you just Googled something random. I watched you Google something random that you
I
don't
didn't.
know. Yeah, you did. I watched you do it, bro.
I'll share my screen. Yeah, I'm more than happy to.
So I can name
No
two
offense,
present
no
tense
offense.
verbs in Hebrew: rotze and ohev. One means want, one means love.
Which one? Greek. Give me the Greek words for love.
Oh, I don't know Greek translations. I can read
there's
it.
there's a couple of them. There's eros, there's
Agape,
agape, there's
ere,
I think
yeah.
a few more. They
Nope,
have
there's
like
only
lots
three.
of different notions of love.
Nope. There's only three.
That's lots, yeah.
There's only three, and I know you want to act
I,
and sound real
wait,
smart.
what?
Bubba, but
That's what I said. What the fuck?
No, you
I
said
said that
there's
there were
more than-
lots
I
of
think
there were
there's a
lots of
couple
words
more.
for love. What the fuck?
there isn't lots of words. There's three.
That's
in the-
lots.
in
Oh
the
my
Greek.
god. Okay. Well, whatever.
Okay. Koine Greek, look it up. It's going to
Yeah.
be fine. You can get
Yeah,
offended.
I'm aware.
It's fine.
I'm aware
I
that there's
understand.
multiple words for love. I just told you 2 of them.
Right. Are you aware that your hat makes you look like a penis?
Oh, well, I don't care
That
about
was a
that.
joke. Sorry, it was a joke.
My,
Sorry.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
actually,
sorry.
yeah, I am, yeah.
So look, Martin, just a hypothetical. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Suppose that in 30 years someone invents a time machine, right?
Okay.
Suppose that that's the thing. Maybe it's not possible, but suppose that it is. You go back in time. You take this time machine. You get in the time machine with, I don't know, Steve, the time machine inventor. You go back in time roughly 2,000 years. You go to Jerusalem, and you watch Jesus get crucified, and you go hang out by his tomb, and you're just in there the whole time, and the body is like, or maybe you install a camera because you don't want to be like disturbing anything. But the point is the body just is in there, and then somebody walks in and steals the body. Would that change your faith?
No, not at all, because I know it would never happen. That's just
Well, it's a hypothetical, right? Suppose it did happen. Would that change your faith?
I can't even fathom that as a hypothetical, because I know it would never happen. Now, like a hypothetical could be like, it says that the women were the first to see Jesus resurrected, and they ran to Peter and said, we've seen the Lord, blah blah blah. Now, I could accept maybe it was her and maybe a couple other people that weren't there in the Bible that were mentioned, but I would never suppose or hypothetical say that Jesus didn't rise from the dead. He's either
Now ask me a hypothetical.
Lord, lunatic, or a liar. Either he resurrected or he didn't. The reason we believe in him is because of the resurrection. If there was no resurrection,
Okay.
there'd be no reason to believe.
So Martin, now ask me a hypothetical.
I don't have any for you, bud.
Yeah,
because I
Dr.
know what
Blitz,
you
if there was a
already-
rock on my table, would there be a rock on my table?
I can't even fathom that. There's not a rock on your table.
But you see how that is, though?
No, the answer is just obviously
That's just an
yes.
attack,
If there was a
though.
rock
See,
on the
this is what
table,
you're
there would be a
doing.
rock on the
What you're
table.
doing
Like, that's
is
just
What
obvious.
you're doing is taking your atheistic mindset and applying it to what I believe.
Well, look, all I'm saying is that
Told me I
engaging with
can't do that to
hypotheticals.
You just told me I couldn't do that to you, though.
All I'm saying is that engaging with
I'll repeat what you
hypotheticals
said.
seems
I'll repeat what you said.
impossible for you.
You have to take my worldview to make your worldview, blah, blah, blah. That's what you said about me. But you just did that to me.
It's just a hypothetical.
Here's my.
And it
I
just
know,
seems
but
like you can't engage with it.
No, that's a word that you're using to hide it, though. I don't understand. Listen, if you don't believe in God, okay, I've dealt with
This
enough
guy doesn't
atheists
believe in
and-
hypotheticals. They're not
Listen,
real.
no, I believe in hypotheticals. I just don't believe in what you guys call hypotheticals. What you're doing is little mini attacks through the word hypothetical.
That wasn't. It was a genuine question.
Okay,
like,
well, here's
look,
a genuine question for you guys. Okay, and I want it,
Yeah,
Doc. I want you to answer this
pivot.
because I already
Fuck
know what your
yeah,
boy's
let's
gonna
go.
do. You see? So, why do you guys not believe in God for real? Like, what's your
Yeah.
logical argument? why
Yeah,
you don't believe
Martin.
in
So I have heard no compelling reason to believe in God. I've heard many compelling reasons to not believe in God. There are problems with traditional notions of God, like the classical theist notion of God. There, namely, like, what does it mean for a God that exists outside of time to take action or to have thoughts? There are questions about the classical theistic God of, if this God cares about us so much, why does the world seem like it doesn't? There are questions about if God wants a relationship with us, why doesn't God make that relationship inevitable? So there are a lot of seeming problems with classical theism.
So can I answer a few of those?
I'm almost done. I was just kind of summarizing. So there are a lot of, and that was just to name a few. There are a lot of problems with classical theism and even with theism, in my view. And it doesn't seem like the answers to those problems and the subsequent evidence in favor of the existence of a God are sufficient to overcome these problems.
Okay, can I answer you?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what's going on right there, obviously, and this is what you're doing. The reason why you think, like, how could there be a God that doesn't make himself known to people? He does in his word. Literally, that is how he talks to us, through Jesus, through the prophets, in his word. Doc, I think if you were to actually sit down and read the Bible non-biased, not with your anger towards God or your hypotheticals towards God. I'm not saying you're
Do I
angry.
seem angry?
No, I'm not trying to say you are, but it is a type of anger to hate God and find reasons to hate God. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is at the end of the day.
Nobody
You guys
hates
might not-
God.
I don't hate.
But you do.
We don't.
If you deny
Not
God,
really.
you're hating him. You're
False.
hating his.
So,
It is.
Martin,
It's.
I don't.
Can I
do I hate?
finish? For the love of God, please, Lord, let me finish one.
So, Martin, I'd love to let you finish, but the point is you're assuming things about my psychology,
that's
which
what
I have
you're
access
doing.
to.
But that's what you're doing
I didn't
about
assume
God.
anything.
No.
I didn't talk to you at all.
No,
I
it's about
talk
God, not me, not me. God, listen, God.
When did I assume anything about God's
So
psychology?
when you say God doesn't make himself known, he does. You just choose to not recognize that way he does it.
That's not. I didn't say make himself known. I said, why doesn't he make knowledge of him inevitable?
He does, right here in the Bible.
Well, hold on. If it was inevitable,
Through
then no
all
one
the
would.
billions of Christians that are on the planet
Martin.
that preach the gospel.
Martin, if that knowledge was inevitable, then there would be nobody who dies an atheist, because that knowledge would be inevitable.
Nobody does die an atheist, bro. When
Many
That's
people
false.
die atheists.
yeah, and they meet God and they end up in
But
hell,
they
and they're
die
no longer
atheists.
atheists.
You would
because
agree
very
that they
much
die
believe in the Lord that
atheists,
put them
right?
there. You see, that's what you don't
do
understand.
people die atheists? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh,
So
that
then God
contradicts
didn't
what
make
you
the
said 2
knowledge
seconds
inevitable.
ago.
Wrong. He did right here. And every time, how many Christians have come up to you, Doc, and preached the gospel to you? Have you ever even heard the gospel? Do you know what the gospel is? Could you tell me?
Yeah. I mean, it's that Jesus died for our sins. It's through faith and faith. Well, it depends on what Christians you ask, but some say through faith and faith alone you can be saved, etc., etc.
See, that's where I have to disagree with you. I bet you guys consider Catholics Christians, don't you?
I mean, generally, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really
Mormons,
interested in like this
Christians?
derail, right? Like I don't really care about
It's
like
not
your
a derail.
personal
I'm trying
issue
to
with,
figure out what you guys
with
think a
Catholics.
Christian even is at this point.
Wait, so but let's do a more fruitful route. So you said that
No,
the
no,
evidence
see,
is the
Doc, your
Bible
buddy didn't
itself.
wanna go down that
You
route,
said
so
that
he
the
ended
evidence
this
is the
route.
Bible itself, but the Bible says false things.
It doesn't say false things. It
Do you
says
think?
false things because
What do you think the value of
they're
pi
false.
is? How, if you had to put a
3.14?
value to pi, what would you say that it is?
Isn't it 3.14?
Yeah. But the
And
Bible
some
says that
change,
it's 3.
But the Bible doesn't say it's 3.
It does, yeah. It says that there's a
It doesn't talk
circle
about-
that has a
Okay,
circumference
all right,
of
wait,
30
can you Google-
and a
can you
diameter
Google
of
real quick
10.
when the
How about I'll give you the
Okay.
verse. I'm happy to give you the verse.
just Google up when pi was made.
Pi is,
That-
well, pi is
just
going
look
to be
it
an
up, like,
eternal
when the-
constant.
I wasn't made. I don't know what you mean by that.
I mean, like you can't. There was a guy one day that wrote it on a board. Is what I'm trying to say. Like it's not. in the
Nobody's
Bible.
ever
I don't
written it
even know
out.
why he's talking about
Right.
that. I'm trying to figure out what you think the gospel is. And as soon as I brought the gospel up, your buddies start freaking out and changing subjects.
Well, yeah, because
because you
so
wanted
the
to
route that I'm
ask-
interested
I
in
wanna
going
know-
down
I'm
is not what
asking
you
Doc.
think about
I'm
Catholics.
asking
I don't really
Doc.
care what you
I'm
think about
asking Doc,
Catholics.
Ian. I'm not
The
even
thing that I'm
talking to you.
interested in is a debate
I don't
about
care
God's
what you're
existence. I'm not
interested in. I'm
interested in
asking your
defending
friend
whether
what
or
he
not
thinks the
Catholics are
gospel is.
Christians. They could be,
They're
they
not.
could not be. I'm not really. I
They're
don't
not
really
Christians. They
care.
worship Mary.
It's just not really relevant for the
yeah.
question.
It is
So I'll
relevant
read you the
because you
verse.
guys. I've heard you guys up
Wait,
here earlier
okay,
talking about
here's what I'll do.
Catholics.
Here's what I'll do.
And they're not.
I'm going to read the verse. This is 1 Kings 7:23. Then he made the molten sea. It was round, 10 cubits from brim to brim, and 5 cubits high. A line of 30 cubits would encircle it completely, meaning that it's saying that the circumference is 30 and that the diameter from brim to brim is 10. That means that to find pi, you would take the 30 and divide it by 10, which would get you 3, but that's false. It isn't 3.
Say that though. It doesn't say that.
It does. 1 Kings
No, it
7:23.
doesn't. You're reading into that. You're seeing something and making something that's
I'll
not
read it
there.
again. Then he made
know
the
you will,
molten
because
sea.
that's
It was
what you
round
do.
10
Can I get
cubits
back to
from
talking
brim
to
to
your
brim
friend?
and 5 cubits high. A line of 30 cubits would encircle it
Cubits.
completely. It's saying that
How
from
big's a
one
cubit?
side to the
Hey, Ian,
other
how
is
big's a
10
cubit?
cubits.
Ian,
That
how
means
big's
that
a
the
cubit?
diameter is 10.
Ian, how big-
and
It
then
doesn't actually matter how big
well,
it
yeah,
is.
it could be
matter, because
anything.
back
A
then
cubit
they
can
were-
be
their cubits was
literally
from their elbow
anything.
to their wrist.
Because as
That
long
was a
as it's
cubit
the
to them.
same unit in both instances,
everybody
when
was
you divide,
different
it's
by the
going to
size of their
cancel.
arm.
Pi cancels. You know, the
Right.
units for
So
pi
a cubit-
cancel.
So sure. So a
So you
cubit.
take a
in
cubit divided by a
so
cubit, and then you get
what-
1.
How big is a cubit, Ian?
It's a bit more than a meter, if I remember correctly.
Wrong. So biblically,
like a
what
foot
you
and a
just
half.
read, what you just read, a biblical cubit was based off a man's elbow to his wrist. Since every man was different, it was a different size.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
it is
read that
around
in
like
Genesis
18
6.
inches, sure.
You can read that in Genesis 6,
Yeah,
by the
cool.
way, where
No,
it
that's
talks about
fine.
no.
Yeah.
It's not cool. So it changes for everybody. So it would not be what you just said because the numbers would be different every time.
Wait, so when it says 10 cubits, oh, well, then it says false things.
It's not false things. What you're doing is turning a cubit into something it's not and then saying it's false.
Wait, so is it 10 cubits from brim to brim?
Yes, but
Okay,
a cubit,
and would a line of 30
biblically,
cubits
again,
encircle it
you're
completely?
ignoring what I'm saying. You're ignoring what I'm saying.
Would a
You're
line
saying
of
18
30
inches,
cubits
that's not a
encircle it
cubit.
completely?
Yes. But a
Oh.
cubit is from the elbow to the wrist.
Yeah, cool.
Ian.
So we have we
No,
would
it's
take
not, yeah,
30
cool.
cubits
So that means everybody
divided by 10
changes.
cubits, and then we get
Yeah,
like
whatever.
3.
So-
Martin, maybe I can ask a clarifying question here.
Theological fallacy, what do you-
Suppose that somebody built this thing. Suppose that this thing was built when it was built and they're describing it, right? You would take one person, you'd have that person use their arm to measure the diameter.
From the elbow to the wrist.
Right. How many elbows to the wrists would they get when measuring from brim to brim?
Well, I don't know. It says 10, so then you would do 10. But the numbers would change. Listen, but the number would change because I'm bigger than you. Hold on. I'm bigger than you. I know I'm bigger than you.
So I'm just asking for one person.
So my cubit would be bigger than your cubit, Doc.
I understand that. So somebody.
Okay, so now go ahead with your logical.
Right. I was getting there. I wasn't done. So whoever built it, it's 10 arm elbow to wrists from brim to brim, right?
Right. Would you acknowledge that everybody would be different?
Yes, everybody's different.
Okay.
Now,
okay. So it's not
the 30 cubits. Is that referring to the same person, or is that referring to a different person?
Depends on the context of the verses.
So in this verse, is it referring to a different person?
Wait, does it say 30 cubits? I couldn't read what
it does say. It does say 30 cubits. Yeah.
Okay, then I would say the same person. I would say.
But if it's the same person, then it's the same arm length from elbow to wrist.
Yeah, I get that.
So that means
that doesn't mean pies in the Bible like your boy just yelled about.
But it does mean that the ratio of their circumference is 30 arm to wrists for the same person as the diameter.
I didn't deny that at all.
But the ratio of the circumference to the diameter is pi.
But it doesn't say that. And
that's just what pi is.
But it's not, because according to
your
boy Ian,
but it's not.
A cubit is 18
pi.
inches. So if someone's arm was 12
let's all Google
inches,
it together.
would you
Is
still get
pi
the
the ratio?
the ratio
of diameter?
The ratio would be the same.
To or of circumference to diameter.
I'm just asking about the ratio.
Yes, pi is defined as the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. You can just Google this.
Okay, whatever. The point is what you're doing is you're attacking
So we
little things and
agree
not
that
letting
the
me talk
Bible
about
says
the
a false
gospel, Ian,
thing.
and I'm kind of understanding why.
Do
at
we
this
agree
point.
that the Bible says a false thing?
It's not false?
But
Nothing in
it
the
says
Bible's
that there
false.
was a circle that has impossible dimensions.
Okay, well then God created a circle with impossible dimensions. I don't know
Do you
what to
think
tell
God has the power to make logical contradictions?
I don't know. Do you have the power to
Well,
make a logical
clearly,
contradiction?
you would have to think that God has the power to make logical contradictions.
You can try to play that game, but nothing in the Bible is false.
Yeah, it says that pi is 3.
I'm happy what you think
You
it
would need
says.
to make a circle that is impossible.
Well, you would have to.
And at
you would
that
have to
point,
make
God
me
can
not
make
believe the
logical
Bible. Listen,
contradictions, which
Ian,
means
buddy,
that God
it's
is
never gonna
illogical.
work with me, bro.
There's a
I am
logical
with
contradiction
Jesus
in your
until I die,
worldview.
homie. I'm never ever gonna deny the word of God. I'm never.
Martin,
ever
quick
gonna
question.
deny Jesus.
It's because you're
It's a bit of
brainwashed.
No, it's not because I'm brainwashed. It's
Yeah, it
because I
is.
used to be
Your-
just
your
like you, Ian.
brain is
I was
in
an
pretzels.
angry stoner BMX rider from Ohio
I've never
that used to run
smoked
around
weed
and
a
wear
day in my
Slayer
life.
t-shirts.
Nor
I
would
was
I.
just like you, Ian.
Let's go.
I was just like you guys. This is what you don't.
I
you're
was
sitting
just
there
like
acting
you
I'm
too,
a
and then I
perfect
found
little boy, bro.
logic.
Dude, I used to run around and sell drugs.
Martin.
I used to do all that, Ian.
Martin.
I used to sell
So-
people I would sell you ounces of weed for $300, Ian.
So Ian doesn't smoke, never has. So Martin, suppose for a moment.
I can't wait to clip all that. What?
So suppose for a moment that you are talking with somebody who is as devoutly Muslim as you are Christian.
Okay.
Now-
Now have a great conversation.
Maybe, but clearly you
I
can't
know,
both
I've
be
done it.
right.
I've had conversations.
I'm sure, but you can't both be right, right?
No, they're wrong.
So it seems like your epistemology is if it's in the Bible, it's true, and their epistemology is if it's in the Quran, it's true. How do you come to a conclusion about who's right?
The Quran was written 700 years after the scriptures, after Jesus. It was written by a man that never spoke to a Christian or a Jew, a man that took an 8-year-old in as a wife, a man that taught that the Jews and Christians should be slaughtered and that you should take over the world. And then let's not talk about the Hadith. There's Hadith
look,
that talks
all of
about
that can be true. That doesn't change the person, the epistemology of the person you're talking to. They
No, I
believe
understand that, but
everything
that's
that
why
the Quran says is true.
They're wrong because everything.
Well,
everything
but that doesn't disprove anything that's in the Quran.
Yeah,
right?
what if they don't care about contradictions?
But yeah, it does disprove because the God of the Bible is the only God.
But what if the
Their
Quran...
God,
They think the God of the Quran is the only God.
Yeah, like they just affirm
Right,
the
and you guys
contradictions.
think
Like you
God's
bring
not
all this
real.
stuff to them and then they say yes, and then they just like affirm the contradiction.
Well, I mean, that's on them.
Oh,
If they don't
exactly,
wanna
right?
believe
But
the
you would
Bible,
say
does
that they're
that make
false
them wrong?
because they affirm the
Why don't
contradiction.
you look up the Muslims that do believe? Why don't you look up the ones that left Islam and to see what they actually have to say? Why don't you bring a Muslim that's a
I've talked to
on your
them.
stream and have
Yeah,
them
me
talk?
too.
I've talked to Muslims. I've talked
Bring
to
them on your
Christians.
stream.
I've brought them on my stream.
Yeah, talk to
I've
Muslims
never
all the
seen it.
time.
Yeah, but
How
you talk to Christian Muslims.
What?
I don't think that there are Christian Muslims.
What the fuck does that
Yeah,
mean?
right, dude. Are you serious?
What does that mean?
What
What's
is
a
a
Christian
Christian
Muslim?
Muslim?
A Christian Muslim. Okay, Islam is the religion. Muslim are the people.
No, Muslim is the adjective that describes a person who practices a religion.
They would freak out if they heard you say that.
A Muslim is a person who practices a religion.
Wrong.
Right?
A Muslim
particular
religion
religion.
is somebody from a certain region.
Are you thinking of Arab?
No,
Yes,
you're thinking of
they would
Arab.
freak out on you if they heard you say
Yes,
that.
Wait a minute. Hold on,
Muslim,
Martin,
noun,
Martin,
a
I have a
follower
very-
of the
Oh my
religion
God.
Islam.
Hold on.
I can't believe you just
Martin,
said that.
Martin,
Muslim,
Martin, hold on.
adjective,
What
relating
country
to
has the
Muslims or their religion.
Ian, hold on. Ian,
Yeah, I can't-
Martin, what country has the most Muslims in the world?
Iran.
Wrong.
Okay.
You want to try again?
No.
Isn't it Saudi Arabia?
It's in Southeast Asia.
Oh, I'm stupid. Fuck.
Oh, Indonesia.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah.
So are they from the Middle East?
They're not Muslims. They're
Yes,
Islam.
they are.
No, they believe in Islam.
No, they're Muslims. That's what.
Okay, but you understand that Muslim is the people group that believes in Islam the most, but there's others.
No,
that believe in
no. Muslim is a follower of Islam.
It's not. Because
Yes.
okay.
That's what the
It's a
word
No,
means.
you're right. It's a follower of Islam. You're right.
Okay, so a
There's
Christian
white
Muslim.
Muslims, there's Chinese Muslims, there's black
Yeah.
Muslims.
Yeah.
Right. So you're making my point for me. It's not.
So how can there be
they're
Christian
people groups.
Muslims?
They're not, because people can be from those areas and be considered Muslim. It's Muslim.
Wait a
by the
minute.
way.
You can be a Swedish Muslim.
No, you can be a Swedish Muslim that believes in Islam. Yes, because you have to be a
That-
Muslim.
You can be a Swedish Muslim. No, you can be a Swedish Muslim who believes in Islam.
The Quran says you have to be Muslim to be Islamic.
I don't think you know what the word Muslim means.
I do.
I think you're confusing it with
The Quran-
Arab.
Again, the Quran says you have to be Muslim. It's Muslim. It's not Muslim. Quit saying that. Ignorant.
Well, it's Muslim, but
Okay. Whatever. So the Quran says you have to be Muslim to be Islamic. You can't be a Christian or a Mormon.
yes, because those are synonymous.
Yes. Thank you.
But Muslim's not a people group. It's not an ethnicity.
All right. So what are Jews? then?
What you're thinking of
No,
is
no.
Arab.
What are Jews? What are Jews?
Not
Jews
Muslim.
are an ethno-religious group. Also irrelevant.
So they're not.
Muslims are
exactly-
not.
They're exactly the same. They
No,
come from the
no, they're
same
not.
bloodline. Yes, they do.
No, I mean, so Arab ethnicity is complicated. Jewish
not
ethnicity is
They both
complicated.
come from Abraham.
Muslim is not an
Jewish.
ethnicity. Arab's an ethnicity.
Which is Muslim. It's
Indonesian is an ethnicity.
literally the
There-
same.
there are-
Swiss is an ethnicity.
Okay,
There are
you wanna use
Arabs who are
Arab
not
instead? Let's use the
Muslims.
word Arab, okay? Arab Christians. Why don't you have an Arab Christian on
Oh,
your?
yeah. So
them.
we've talked. I don't know. Maybe I've talked to Arab Christians before. I have no idea. I don't know. Like they don't introduce themselves
But
as
you
like
guys are
Arab
sitting here
Christians.
rambling on about what they believe and what they don't believe.
Sorry, when? Presumably they believe like the Christian stuff.
The Christian stuff, the stuff that you claimed to believe at one point.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the gospel is?
W
Ian?
deflect. W pivot.
No, it's not deflection. I just want to know how much you actually believed. I want to know how in depth you actually went. Did you go to summer camp once and raise your hand? Was that what you did?
Oh, I mean, I went to church every Sunday. I went to summer camps,
what kind
did
of
all the
church
stuff.
did you go
I
to? If you
prayed.
mind me asking, what kind of
I
church
went.
did you
Yeah, I
go
went to an evangelical church. W deflection. W pivot.
It's not a deflection. I'm
It
trying
is.
to figure it a little
Yeah,
bit
it
out
is.
about you.
I
Ian.
mean, my personal history has literally nothing to do with my beliefs.
Literally, you used that all earlier as your purpose for your
No, I
beliefs, but
didn't.
that's fine.
What the fuck?
No, that's fine. I have it clipped.
That just didn't happen. Like top 10 things that didn't
That's fine.
happen.
No, that's fine, Ian. It's fine.
You know, if
fine,
by
man.
me bringing up my history, you mean like after you brought up your history, right?
Yeah,
like I think
because, you
your
know,
history is
I
as relevant
indulged in
as
who
my
I was.
history,
I
which
didn't
is not
just
relevant.
hide behind
I don't think
names
that
and
your
words.
personal religious history is relevant in the same way that I don't
But it
think
is
my
relevant
personal
because you're
religious history
asking
is
why
relevant.
people believe in God, and I have to use my personal history to tell you that.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said I have to use my personal history to tell you why I believe in God. I can't just be like, I believe in God because of A, B, and C, darka darka. I
Oh
can't
well,
do
sure,
that.
sure you could, right? You just give the
No, I
argument.
can't because that wouldn't be truthful.
Oh well, then your belief is unjustified.
Right, sure. According to you,
Martin,
right? Who's
if
the
you were-
justifier?
If you were born in Saudi Arabia,
Right.
do you think they'd still be a
Silent.
Christian?
Yes, I don't play that semantic game where you're born, you become what you're born, because when I was born into an atheistic family where my mom and dad both hate God with a passion.
Well, but
Again, I used to party, smoke, sell
That's
drugs,
fine,
listen to
but, like-
Slayer, be in all that. So I didn't become a Christian because
wait, Martin,
of
just a
America.
quick question: Is
that's
like
what you're
listening to Slayer not Christian?
Yeah, they literally talk about murdering people and slaughtering people and hating
It's
God.
music, my guy.
No, it's not just music. Words matter, bro.
Okay.
I know
But
that
Slayer's
doesn't matter
awesome,
to you.
so like,
Feelings.
I think that's. You know what? If I had to pick between Jesus or
words
Slayer,
that
I'd pick
matter,
Slayer because
literal.
Slayer's cool.
My favorite song by Slayer is War Assemble.
Okay, that's fair.
So
But wait, I thought you're not allowed to have. I thought you're not allowed to have favorites.
I have a favorite, doesn't mean I listen to it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand. There's a lot of stuff. I like the Charlie Brown Christmas special. It's one of my favorite cartoons. Doesn't mean I sit around and watch it every day. I don't know what you're laughing at.
But, like, you
that
don't think
beanie that he's wearing, it makes him look like
This
a
is
penis.
this
I
is
bet
my
you that's
favorite
his
song. I don't
beanie.
listen to it.
You can have favorite things, doesn't mean you have to like them. You can like the things of the world, doesn't mean you have to do them. You know, I used to enjoy getting
Wait,
drunk and partying all
If
the
you
time.
have a favorite
Doesn't mean I
thing,
do
it does mean that you like it.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
No, it
that's what
does
the word
not.
means.
If every man likes to, well, maybe not you guys, but every man likes to look at boobs, doesn't mean you should. If you're married or, you know, trying to be faithful, stuff like that.
Oh,
Every
I
man
don't
likes to
like
have
I don't
every-
like looking at like random women's boobs. That's
Right,
weird.
because you're not subscribed to every OnlyFans there is in
I'm
the world,
not.
Radian. Okay. Okay.
I prefer to only look at those of my wife. Thank you.
Good. Amen. Amen. But you see, that's the point. You see how offended you just got? That's good. I'm happy.
Oh no, I'm not offended. It was
Offended?
kind of a bit of a
No,
a
it was
meme.
an offense.
No, it was
because
like
unless you
if
don't have a
anything,
it was a meme.
if anything, I
Dude,
think that you're like
dude, was it-
embarrassing
wait, were you
yourself.
lying?
I'm not
Do you-
offended. I'm actually
You know,
glad that you said
am
that. I think
married.
it like
I am
further
married to a woman.
undermines your
She's, like, just in
credibility.
the other room. No, it's just like we can, like, you know, I think everybody can appreciate beautiful people.
That's I guess, yeah. I'm not gonna play that game either because there's nothing
Like-
beautiful about playing swords or butthole or any of that. Not
The fuck? What?
poop comes out of there, guys.
The fuck?
Woo, woo. I know, Ian. It's hard to
I
follow,
actually have
get
no
it.
idea like how we got here or like why you're
I'm
so
just trying to
obsessed.
troll you at this
Like why are
point,
you so
Ian.
interested in
I'm
like
trying
gay
to talk to your
sex? Are
friend.
you
You
have
keep
you been
cutting us
thinking
off, so
about
at
this
this
a
point,
lot?
I'm
Do you
just
spend like
trolling you.
lots of time?
I literally have had multiple channels doing this that I've lost because of this.
Yeah,
Like, I tried
I
to
mean, it
talk
just
to your
sounds like you
friend
spent like a lot of
logically.
time
I try to
thinking
ask him
about it.
about
Like
things,
I
Ian,
definitely
and then
don't
you
spend
just
lots of
start
time
running off
thinking
at the
about
mouth with
this,
your
but
shirt
I
that's
don't
too
know.
small
Like
for
maybe
you.
it's okay, right? Like
You look like the
you're allowed to
Keebler
be
elf had sex
interested
with
in
an old
this.
avocado.
That was funny. I'll give you that
Wait,
one.
what was that? I
funny.
missed it. What did he say?
He does look like the Keebler elf.
Looks like a what? You're too quiet. I can't hear you.
Said you look
You
like the
can hear me,
Keebler elf.
though.
Oh yeah, let's.
Like
I'll
the
take that. I think
It
that's
comes with
funny. Yeah.
evolution.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
No, I'll accept that
I'm
one. I'll
actually a pretty
accept that
funny
one.
guy. Ian's just a dickhead.
Oh yeah.
I would have been really nice to you guys the whole time I was up here. He's just
No,
a
no,
vindictive,
you came in
angry
hot.
dickhead.
Come on,
No,
let's
I
not
didn't.
let's not lie.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I can sit here and talk
Everyone's
to your
going
friend
to
fine,
read.
and you're
It's
the only
recorded.
one
It's all
acting
streamed
like
to
an
YouTube.
angry
You can't lie.
teenager.
It's all recorded. You came in here aggressive.
I know. I'm recording it too.
Yeah,
You're
cool.
gonna
So
make
then
me
everyone
so
will
much
see that
money.
you came in here aggressive.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Did you want to wait? Do you want to replay the beginning? Or
Yeah,
fuck, you won't be able to
sure.
hear
Go
the
ahead, bud.
replay.
I don't know if
I
you
could
recognize,
replay it
but
for
I'm a
like
little
TikTok. I
eccentric.
could replay it for the stream. I don't think that you'd be able to hear it though.
I don't really care.
No, he wouldn't.
But yeah, as long as we agree that there's a contradiction in your worldview, I'm satisfied. Martin, I'm satisfied saying that there's a contradiction in your worldview, and we can leave it at that. You can affirm
Yeah, but
contradiction.
that's what you believe.
I won't
Ian.
affirm
That's not what I believe.
contradictions.
You can't tell me
No,
what I
there's a
believe.
contradiction in your worldview.
You
You think
can't
pi is
tell me
3.
what to believe, Ian.
You think pi is 3.
You think pi is fucking you
I
can't
think pi is
tell me what to
3.14159,
believe,
et cetera,
dude.
et cetera.
You can't sit there and
You think pi
scream
is
at
3.
people and ask them why they believe in God, and then when they try, you freak out for an hour.
Yeah, sure.
So
Why do you?
Martin-
Well, yeah. Why do you believe in
Yeah,
God?
actually,
Go for
go
it.
I need a coffee.
Yeah, he doesn't have. He doesn't want to give the reason why he believes in God.
I was letting you talk, Ian. We were letting you talk.
Yeah, and I
You're
produced
just
a
so fired up,
contradiction. You
can't
couldn't
even hear
deal
other
with
people
it,
talking to
so
you. Get
you
it out,
freaked out,
Ian. Get
pivoted
it
to
out.
meta, and that's
So
all there
why
was.
do you believe in God then?
Yeah, why do you believe in God?
Yeah, what do you believe in? All right,
So answer the question.
I know I will. I'm just waiting for him to get it all out. Because I know as soon as I start talking, he's going to freak out. All right, listen. So I believe in God because of what the Bible says. You may not like that. You might not like that. But literally, it's the word of God. You want to hear God talk out loud? Read the Bible out loud. You literally, that is my worldview. This Bible is everything to me. Everything.
What?
Every word in here spoken. Hold on. Every word in
Sure.
here is the word of God. Jesus calls himself in John the word of God. So when you read this, you're reading the words of Christ. All of
Okay.
it, because he existed before he was born. The incarnation was not the same thing as existing. He was already there. We believe in a Trinity.
Okay.
Christians do.
Cool.
Okay, like real
So-
Christians,
So God is true because the Bible is true. Why is the Bible true?
because God says it is.
Oh, so God is true because the
But you're
Bible
gonna
is
turn
true.
that
The
into a
Bible is true
contradiction,
because
right? Go
God
ahead.
is real. So God exists because the Bible is true. The Bible is true because God exists.
It's called-
Circular.
you're going to call it circular
Yeah,
reasoning,
it
right?
is. Yeah, it is.
It is
Yeah.
circular.
So
So you
then-
have to.
Wouldn't your
Agree with
belief
that,
be
right?
the exact? Yeah, sure. But wouldn't your belief
Okay.
be the exact same thing?
Nope.
How not? Let me show you how it is.
Go
I
for
don't
it.
believe in the Bible, so therefore God's not true. God's not true, therefore I don't believe in the Bible.
No.
That's exactly what you guys do.
Nope. I have different reasons for thinking that God doesn't
You
exist.
told me the reason why you
the
left
Christian God
Christianity was
doesn't
because of
exist because
contradiction
the
in
Bible is false. The Bible is false because it's contradictory, and contradictions
so
are
that's
false
still
because of
circular reasoning.
identity. No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Where's the circle?
admit it, but you guys won't.
Where's the
So, Martin,
circle?
just to be clear, I was an atheist before I even knew what the Christian Bible was.
That's because you didn't know the gospel. That's why every time I try to bring it up to you, your friend cuts me off.
Well, no. I mean, the point is me not believing in God has nothing to do with the Bible.
Well, then what's the point of not believing in God?
What do you mean? What's the point? I just don't believe in it.
Well, it's the God of the Bible that you guys attack on your show.
No.
It's
Yeah.
The first
I mean,
guest
I
wasn't a
believe in
Christian,
any-
and we
No,
still debated on.
The multiple shows that you guys have done, every single one is about the Christian God.
No, the first guest wasn't
so,
Christian.
So to be clear,
So it's no.
so to be clear,
So if I go back and
Martin,
everyone.
I'm answering your question. So I don't really believe in any God, at least in any notion of God that like an English speaker would recognize. And it happens to be that English speakers, so like somebody who speaks another language might have a different notion of God that like I can't conceptualize of.
if they believe the Bible, we all have the same Bible.
They might be some other religion that you've never heard of, right? That's what I'm getting at. So maybe I don't believe in a God in the sense that like when English speakers say the word God, that thing. I don't believe in that thing.
Okay, I can say it in Hebrew, Yahweh.
Okay, so I also happen to be familiar with Hebrew. I also don't believe in that thing, right? But what I'm saying is that
what you're doing there is you're putting your feelings.
I'm answering,
over,
Martin. I was explaining why we
feelings. That's not an
Martin.
argument.
He's going to his dialogue tree.
Martin.
It's not.
So the
His
point
pre-programmed
is that
responses.
Can you not see me?
It's like the Elmo doll when you like shake the Elmo doll and it gives out like its
Yeah.
voice lines that it's been pre-programmed with.
I just
You're
understand
resorting to
that.
your
Literally use my
feelings,
feelings
you know,
to
after
base
Dr.
Quiet
Blitz
Coyote.
gives like the
When I
logical
believe
reason
it's
why he
wrong.
doesn't believe.
Quiet Coyote. Okay, look, Martin, the reason why we end up talking with Christians and we end up talking about Christianity a lot is because we are an English-speaking channel, and most of the people, and we broadcast in an American time zone, so most of our guests are going to be Christians. Just statistically, that's the case.
Have you ever looked at your YouTube studio?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever looked at your regions where people watch?
Yes, it's mostly the United States.
Mostly. So there's people in other places.
Yeah. So look, I have spoken with Muslims before. I have spoken with Jews before. I've spoken with Hindus before. It's just much less likely, and they just don't show up often.
I do, but 99% of the content on your guys' channel is about the Christian God. Will you
That's
agree
because
with that?
Christians tend to be the loudest in English-speaking spaces.
I understand that, but you're the one naming your streams things like prove why God's not real, and you're
Yeah.
not using the spelling of any other God. You're using God.
God is an English word that refers to an idea. It's not exclusive to Christians.
If you were to Google the word God, the very first thing that pops up underneath it is Christian God.
Well, wait. Let's. I have the
bet you that's
demographics in
not
front of
true.
it.
It says
So we have.
deity.
Wait, can I
It
show you
says
the
deity,
demographics?
and then it will say number 1, number 2, number 3, and it will say
66% of our audience is from the United States. 7.2% of our audience is from the UK.
you guys have a small
4.8% of our audience is from Canada. 1.7% of our audience is from Germany. 1.4% of our audience is from Australia. 1.3% of our
atheism all
audience is
around
from
the
South
world.
Africa. 1.2% of our
Yourselves.
audience is for the Netherlands. 1.1% of our audience is from
question,
India.
Doc. Okay,
And
you
then
don't have to
everything
read off
below
every
that
country,
is
but
is
calm down.
like a
Don't get triggered.
percentage below
Jeez, for the love of
1%.
God. Congo has 4.5 people. One's a midget. I don't care. All right, mine's the same way.
Yeah, well, so that's what we told you, right? Like that's what we're telling you.
You didn't have to name off every single country,
Yeah,
bro. What are
because
you,
we're
the
telling you what our
Automaniacs? You're gonna start
demographics
singing the
are in
song?
order to demonstrate to you why it's the case that the majority of our viewers are Christian. Why the majority of the conversations are Christian is because
No,
the
it's
majority of the
because you know that the
viewers
Christian
live
God
in
is
Christian
actually God, that's
countries,
why.
which means
You
that
know
the
that
majority of
Jesus
people
is
who call
God,
in
and
are
you
going
know-
to be
You
from these
realize you're
Christian
just doing
countries,
mind reading,
which
right?
means
I'm
the
not
majority
doing
of
mind reading.
people
You
are
guys
going to
wouldn't
be
attack him
Christian.
if
It's
he
just a
wasn't
matter of
real.
basic statistics.
Martin,
Attack
are
God,
you
and you claim he's not real.
Martin, are you familiar with
you
anime
familiar
power
with that?
scalers?
No.
Okay, so there's a community of people who argue about who would win in a fight, Goku or Naruto, or Goku or
Which
Saitama,
Goku?
or whatever.
Hold on. Which Goku?
It's irrelevant. The point is that Goku's not real. Goku's not real, but people still argue about stuff about Goku.
But that's anime, dude. They argue over colors of hair. Like,
Yeah, you're right. It is
that's
silly.
not,
I
that's not
agree.
things of the soul. Goku can't save your soul. Jesus can.
Well, they might disagree. They think that Goku's all powerful.
Well, that's great, but it's a cartoon. You can't shake Goku's hand.
Yes, and the Bible's a book.
Yeah,
Right.
the
Written by
Bible is also
God.
fictional. Yes,
Written by God. You guys say
no, it
it's fictional.
wasn't. You haven't established
You
that.
guys say it's fictional.
Prove
so
that
the
it
Bible
was-
very
prove- go
clearly
ahead and
says all
prove that it
throughout
was
the
written by
Gospels,
God.
all
Go
throughout the
ahead.
Gospels, that they were inspired by the Holy Spirit.
Would
to write
you
what they
like
wrote.
to prove that
The
it was
Holy
written by
Spirit is
God?
the
Are
third
you
person of
interested?
the Trinity, which is God. So God Himself inspired the men to write what they wrote, and you say
That's what it says in the book.
Yeah, we're still waiting for
But
the
just because
proof
it says that in the
of the
book
book.
doesn't mean that that's true, right?
you
That's the
believe
thing in
Darwin's
question.
theory of evolution.
Do I believe Darwin? I mean, Darwin's theory is kind of outmoded.
I mean, okay. Do you believe in evolution in general?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Ooh, so you believe books written by men?
I believe
No,
the evidence.
I believe data and evidence.
Evidence. Can you give me evidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you show me
fossils?
a creature that's half fish, half bird, or
That's
half
not what-
whatever?
Half fish, half newt, maybe is Tiktaalik.
No, not newt, because that would be an amphibian and then a fish. I'm saying, like, can you show me a
Those are the same
anywhere
thing,
where we
right?
found a half dinosaur, half bird, like fossils?
Well, all birds are dinosaurs.
But they're not. That's
They are.
evolution nonsense. They were
No,
lizards,
that's
bro. They
just
were
the
not birds.
definition.
They were lizards.
No,
They were not birds.
no, lizards are not dinosaurs.
Two different kinds.
Birds were dinosaurs.
Two different kinds of animals. Just like you guys think that dinosaurs had feathers and all that. No,
Wait, hold on. Dinosaurs are not lizards.
I mean, they are.
No, they're not. They're not in that category.
The word. What does the word dinosaur mean?
Like terrifying lizard or something like this. But that's Latin. Like that's
Oh, Latin. So it doesn't
not
matter.
really relevant.
It's Latin. It's not.
No, I mean like when we do taxonomy, we have ways of classifying animals,
Right.
and dinosaurs are not lizards.
Right. Just like they were birds, though, at one point, right?
No, dinosaurs weren't birds. Birds are dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know. I get that. So big T-Rexes became robins. I get it. Yep, that's totally.
No, they died. Their descendants also died, and
totally
their
legal.
descendants
So how
and
come
their
there hasn't been
descendants and
any
their descendants
evolution in
died.
the human species if we've been around for whatever
There have.
50,000 years or
Yeah.
whatever?
There
So, for
has.
example, like the genetics
one.
related to lactose intolerance in cultures that rely on milk as like one of their main methods of consumption, they've
That's not
developed
evolutionary
traits
change.
that are like they're
It is.
more likely to
So
be
then would you say
lactose
that people that
tolerant
are
than
born with one
cultures
leg
where they
missing-
don't drink milk or consume dairy
Let's
very
talk about
often.
real things, not milk. That's silly. I know people
Milk
Milk
is
is
real.
real.
I have
That's a
son
real
upstairs
thing.
right now that's
Sorry,
lactose
sorry you don't
intolerant.
like the
Doesn't mean
data.
he's
I'm sorry that
evoluted
the
into
evidence
something
disagrees
different.
with you.
That's
I'm
silly.
sorry that you don't know the facts, but those are the
So,
facts.
I do know
You
the
can say that
facts
milk
because you're
isn't
talking to
real,
somebody
but
that
every
deals
single
with actually a
person
kid
knows
that
that milk
deals with
is
that.
real. So you're just embarrassing
Do you have
yourself.
any children, Ian? Do you have any kids, Ian?
No, this is a good derail though.
I have a son that's
I
actually
super didn't
lactose
ask.
intolerant. Okay, but you're talking about it. I'm telling you, I understand.
I
You're like,
didn't
"No, you
talk
don't.
about
I'm
your
sorry, you
son.
don't
I never brought up
understand."
your son.
I did just now, but you were talking
Yeah.
and you just
Wait,
couldn't hear
so
it.
do you think milk is real? Yes or no?
Absolutely real.
Yeah, cool.
I
So
live in
milk
Amish
is real.
country.
So what you
I
said
drink
earlier
real
was
milk.
false.
I live in Amish country. I don't live in like you probably live in California. I'm guessing.
No,
right?
I don't. I live in the East
no,
Coast.
they-
Neither of us
You
lives
want-
in California.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he acts like he does. You know what I mean? Like,
What does that mean? Should I say you act like you live in Ohio?
I don't
like,
live in Ohio. I live in central Pennsylvania in the mountains.
Okay, but then I could still say you act like you live in Ohio. Like, what does that mean?
I guess that you're right. You don't gotta get offended. I'm not gonna get offended.
It's just a weird thing to say. Like, there are different kinds of
You guys
people
say a lot of your friends
all
say
over
a
the
lot
world.
of weird stuff today, and I don't hear you saying anything to him. That's kind of simpy, by the way. You know, good friends usually call each other out. So
I think.
have friends
I mean,
who
I
call me
think
out
Blitz
all
has
the
been
time.
trying to get me to pipe down, but I'm just too aggressive.
I don't yeah, you're totally aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're so
am. Yeah,
aggressive.
right. Like you got your fucking back blown out, right?
you got your back-
at
you're
every
so
single point in this
aggressive.
conversation, you were
Yeah,
face down,
conversation.
ass up, getting rhetorical
Ass
back
up,
shots
yeah.
the entire time. You know, you got your back blown out. Sorry.
Martin, you really don't want to be making that sound into the mic.
I know,
because
bro.
It's gonna
That's
get
what he
clipped.
sounds like when he talks. He's like, listen.
You're like
angry
moaning
all
into the
time.
mic, and it's gonna get clipped.
What? I don't give a fuck if you.
Okay.
Guys. Oh my god. That's what he sounds like when he talks.
Why do you keep doing it?
He sounds like it when he talks.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
like, you're just so angry.
Oh, I mean, I don't really care. I can sound however, right? You know,
don't care. All right. Yeah,
If,
you
if
surely
it's
don't care. You've been
embarrassing
going
for me
on
to
for an
sound
hour
like
and a
this,
half,
imagine
my
how
dude.
embarrassing it is to lose a debate to someone who sounds like this.
I'm not even debating.
Yeah,
you
you
think
are.
This is a
Yeah,
debate,
everyone's
then you have never
nobody's
debated
debating
anybody.
when it comes time to evaluate how they did in the conversation.
debate,
You know,
let's do a
it
real
wasn't
debate
even
where
a
you can't
debate,
talk
dude. It
for
wasn't
10
even
minutes.
a debate.
Ian
Do a real
did
debate.
challenge you to a debate on modern day debates, Martin.
Yeah.
And I accepted.
No, you
Let's
didn't.
do a real
Oh, you
debate
did?
where you can't be like,
No, you didn't.
the whole time I'm
You
talking.
fucking ran from it. But
Okay,
sure,
so
now that
we
you
should
accept,
set up
yeah.
I just
Martin, I'd
said
love
that
to.
I would
Martin,
do
what is
it.
your contact information? We'll have a
1-800
debate on modern day
collect.
debates. It'll be wonderful.
Just hit me up. It's on my channel. Just hit
What
me
is
up.
your
What's your channel?
channel?
Martin Uncensored.
Martin,
Well, the one
what?
I'm using right now.
Martin uncensored. Well, we can't see what channel you're on.
Martin is uncensored.
Martin
I just
is
deleted my
uncensored.
other channel.
Martin is uncensored. I'm not seeing.
Yeah,
it
Martin, I would love to
anywhere.
have a debate with you on modern day debates.
I would love to have a debate with you. Actually, not on your friends. We have to find a neutral place.
Like modern day
Modern day
debates?
debates is a pretty popular debate channel.
Yeah, but if he knows who it is and stuff, I don't want nothing to do with it. I want like somebody random that doesn't know either one of us.
Modern Day Debates is just like a
Only fair.
big.
I don't
It's
care
just
how
like a big debate channel.
it could be a channel with
It's like nonpartisan.
I don't care about how big. I'm not trying to blow up on YouTube like you guys. I'm here
Wait,
to
so
talk about
I
the
can't even
gospel.
find this dude's channel. Did you just lie? Like, what's the name of the
Me
channel?
neither.
Yeah, I'm totally lying.
I can't find the
can't
name of the
find it either for
channel.
what it's
Well,
worth.
then go to filters. It's a relatively new channel. Hit channel, and then it'll pop right up.
1.95k subscribers. Is that you?
Yep, just started it not
Okay.
long ago.
No, that's fine. I mean, we have like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah, no,
or
you
something,
guys
so
are
it's
doing
not
all
like-
right, I guess. You know, you do a lot of live streams though. That helps quite a bit.
So, Martin, I think that it would behoove you, and it would, behoove the interests that you're trying to spread, as you're trying to spread the truth of Christianity, right?
I mean, I'm trying to, but it's hard when.
No, I understand that, but it would behoove you to get your message out in front of as many people as possible. And Modern Day Debates is a nonpartisan platform.
I get that, but that's not how it works in Christianity. We're not trying to be in front of as most people as we can. We're trying to be in front of people in general.
Oh, I'm
if we're
sorry,
in
which
front of
platform
6
would you
people
like to
and
have
one
the debate
person-
on?
And one person hears the gospel and believes, that's enough.
Which channel would you be interested in hosting
Oh,
the
I don't
debate
know.
on?
I have an idea of a channel that I just recently met the guy. He's a pastor.
Oh
but he's,
yeah,
he
you don't want to do
but he
modern day
does
debates. You want
like he
somebody
does
who
big
agrees
debates.
with you to moderate the debate because you're scared of
no,
a
he
neutral
doesn't agree with me.
platform.
We completely
you're
disagree on
scared
almost
of
everything.
engaging with me in the free marketplace of ideas. You're
Okay,
bankrupt.
so you didn't hear me. I guess you didn't hear me over you talking.
That,
I just said
I
we
grant that.
disagree
That
on
might be
almost
true.
everything.
Did you say that he was a pastor?
Yeah, but he's a pastor in Presbyterian Church. We don't agree at all on anything. I don't know what you're laughing at.
You're a riot.
no,
Yes, you
Christians.
went to a Presbyterian church?
This guy's a rhetorical titan. Holy shit.
Oh, you must have went to a Presbyterian church. Ian,
no, I
didn't
already
ya?
told you right. And because you're such a geriatric fuck, you don't remember.
You said evangelical, but
but
that's not
yeah,
a
it's
church. That's
evangelical.
not like a church.
Yeah,
That's not a
it's-
church. That's a group
well,
of
it
people.
is, right?
It's not.
My
What's
church,
the word
if you look on the
evangelical
website,
mean?
it says that it is
What's
an
it mean,
evangelical church.
Ian? What's the word mean, Ian?
The word stems from evangelize, which just means to attempt to like go out and to
Preach
convert
the
people.
gospel. Yeah. So every Christian is an evangelist. It's not a type of church.
Including
If somebody uses
Presbyterians?
that as the name of their church, then they're called non-denominational.
Wait, including Presbyterians?
If they use it in their name, it depends. Most Presbyterians are part of like a big group of Presbyterian churches. So they,
Well, no, but you said every Christian is an evangelist.
yeah, he's an evangelist. He knows the gospel. We just don't agree.
So
on
then how do you, so in what sense, I mean, like maybe you disagree on some minutia, but you guys are both evangelists.
call it minutia, but I would say we call it secondary issues in Christianity.
Yeah, so you only disagree on secondary issues. I mean, like,
Right.
look, I can just name a name of somebody who would host a debate if you want,
I
that
mean,
neither
like,
of you
is it
know.
wrong?
but-
Is it wrong, like that we both believe in the gospel? Is that like wrong to you? Or-
I mean, look, you didn't want to
that's
be.
like fundamental.
Well, yeah,
Martin,
you
you didn't want
rejected
to
a
be on
debate on
modern
modern day debates. You rejected
I
debate on
don't-
a neutral platform, but you want a debate hosted by a pastor.
No, I offered because we don't agree on things that we would be arguing about, me and you. We have different views on secondary
Yeah,
issues.
so surely we could just do it on, like, a
everything
neutral
that you've
platform.
been crying about
By
today
the
is
way,
secondary nonsense.
Interestingly enough, the host of Modern Day Debate is a Christian.
True.
I'm guessing he's. What's his name? Let me look it up. I'll read.
His name is James. I don't actually know if his last
Is
name
he a
is.
Christian?
No,
Like, or is he a
his name is
Catholic?
James Kuntz.
Is he a Catholic?
I don't think he's a Catholic.
Okay, I'll
He
reach out to
says
him.
he
I'll send an
trusts
email.
the gospel.
We trust Jesus, not. Okay. Okay.
Like, he's a Christian.
I get it.
He just
I get it.
hosts this channel.
I get it. I don't know if Ian wants to go on there so bad. I don't think he's really a Christian. Ian was gonna want to go.
No,
somewhere.
so Martin, I've been on there before too. He's just a good moderator.
I get it because he's
He's a good and honest moderator. He has a big platform.
But there's other places too. I'll look into it. If not, we'll go there. But the point is that I have to have a debate, Ian. If we're gonna debate, and you can't cut me off every time I start talking about something that makes your heart start to rumble a little bit and make you feel bad. It's called conviction. Okay, that's what happens. I was trying to talk to this guy earlier about the gospel and see if he understood what it was. As soon as he started telling me, Ian started to making noises, acting like a child. I'm not going to debate somebody that's going to act like that.
Oh,
I'm only
wait, so
giving
will
energy
you
back
debate
to
me or
energy,
won't
and
you?
I wouldn't treat you like a child if you didn't act like one.
Wait, so
bro. If you were
are
just
you
be an
going to
adult and
debate me or are you
disagree,
not
we'd be
going to
fine.
debate me? Because right now, what it
I just
sounded
said I
like, it
would.
sounds like you're getting cold feet. It sounds like you're not going to debate me.
It sounds like what you're doing is what every liberal does, like The
So
View and
this guy is
Oprah and
actually
everybody else
scared
on
to
TV,
debate me. He spent a lot
and
of
you're
time
pretending
saying
that
I
I'm
would
not
debate.
saying these things.
He's like, yeah,
Everyone
I
can
totally
hear
would
me.
debate you. And he even said that I would be too
Everyone
scared
can
to
hear
debate on a
me.
real debate platform. And just now you
Everyone can
said,
hear
well, I'm not
me
going to
say
debate
that I
someone
said
who
I would
acts like a
debate you,
child.
but
I'm
you're-
not going to debate, we could
Oh, such a
syllogize this. You probably don't have
gaslighter.
a very good grasp of logic, but we could put this
No,
into
no,
a
no, I didn't go to
syllogism.
school. I
Premise
didn't go to
one,
school
I
for
don't
any of
debate
this.
people who act like children. Premise two, you act
Right.
like a child. Therefore, conclusion, I don't debate you.
Right.
I won't debate you.
And
That's what it
I
sounds like
literally
to
said
me.
1,000
Maybe
times
you
that
just
I would
didn't like
debate
catch the
you.
implication of that, but it sounds like you're running.
He literally loves the voice. You love the sound of your own voice, bro.
No, that's ironic.
You just sit
Sigmund
online
Freud would
and
have
argue
a
all day
field
with
day
people.
with
What kind
you.
of
You're
life is
projecting
that?
like crazy.
I literally just said I would debate you, and you went on for
Okay.
15 seconds
Well,
about
the
how
logical
I wouldn't do it. I'm
entailment
getting
is that
cold
you
feet.
actually wouldn't debate me, but okay.
I just said I would.
Okay,
I just
sure.
said I
Yeah,
would.
well, I'll hold you
It was
to that.
about where.
I'll
It
hold
was
you to
about
that.
where. I never said I wasn't going to.
Okay,
It was
cool,
about
yeah.
where we were going to do it.
All right, Martin. Wait, do you have a Discord?
No, I don't use Discord. I'm not
Okay,
15.
sure. I'll email you. We'll set it up. All right. Let's go on to the next one.
I have 23 minutes before I got a hard stop. By the
Let's
way.
let's talk to the guy named Gay Beanie Wearer.
That's a good idea.
How's it going?
Oh, we have a shit ton of super. I guess we can go over them at the end.
Beanie Wearer, are you there?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah. How old are you?
Yeah. Hey, gay beanie. How's it going?
What's going on?
Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which one?
A God.
Which one?
Does it matter?
Kinda.
It just helps us understand your view.
I believe that something created us. I don't think that we just popped out of nowhere.
We don't either.
I think there's more evidence to prove that, like the spirit molecule and shit like that. I think
Spirit
that-
molecule. What's the spirit
Let
molecule?
me ask you this.
Hold on.
You guys got two questions off already, and I've answered
Yeah,
them
sure.
like fairly fast.
Sure.
How do you guys think we got here? And this is excluding anything of dark matter of that sort.
Yeah,
I don't want to
so,
hear any of that. How do you guys think?
I think that I came from my parents, and then through a long line of evolution, I came from some first single-celled organism.
And how did
that
the single-celled organism
I was getting there. Sorry, I just
create itself?
I was
Sorry,
taking a
go
breath.
ahead. Go ahead.
That single-celled organism formed through chemical processes. Those chemical processes arose on the planet Earth that formed through gravity. That gravity is a property of space-time, and the matter that coalesced under that gravity was forged in the heart of stars. Those stars were second and third generation stars that came from earlier generations of stars, and those very first generations of stars formed from the collapse of gas clouds. Those gas clouds came as the result of cooling and expanding matter fields that likely predated the Big Bang. Is that a good enough answer for the whole history of the universe?
Absolutely. So you would definitely agree that that's some pretty incredible stuff. In
I
order
mean, it's
for that
cool.
to
I don't know if
form,
I would
like,
say it's like
in order
incredible.
for all of that to happen, for us to sit here and debate whether there's something behind that is kind of crazy, because I don't know. I mean, maybe you can. To me, it just sounds like you guys have like an anger towards there possibly being something that made that happen.
Do I sound angry?
No, just like a disbelief.
No.
So then what's the anger?
Truthfully, no, not right now. But like, I don't understand the point of trying to debate the fact that whether there is a God or there's not. That's
So look, gay beanie. The fact that people believe in God. The fact that people
I
believe
don't
in God.
like the beat.
Sorry. The fact that people believe in God affects the world around us. Whether we believe in God or not, the fact that other people do affects our world. So it's an important conversation to have, regardless of what our beliefs are.
Okay. So, I mean, do you think that you're like making a change somehow on like the thousands of people who have a religion that's
Well,
even against some of the ones that are,
considering that
because as you
there
were
are
saying
thousands
earlier,
of
like a
people
lot of
watching
religions,
this right
sorry, I
now.
was saying something, but there's like religions that battle each other, with that
Yeah.
being said, it's like by saying there's no God doesn't make any of those, any hateful thoughts or like actions towards, I mean, people still, they protest churches and stuff like that in certain areas and in the United States alone, not even mentioning the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm
Okay.
trying to understand if you think that like all of that happened And when you said chemical processes, what chemicals exactly?
It'll be hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, perhaps silicon. I could keep naming them if you want.
Okay, so but they also that formed gas clouds.
That's
what you're saying.
No, that's what formed the first stars is gas clouds. That was hydrogen almost exclusively.
And how many suns do you think or how many stars do you think are if you had to just
So Gabian, I've now answered several of your questions. I'd like to ask you another.
Go ahead.
What's the spirit molecule?
That would be what scientists discovered as like the start of the universe.
What?
So like exceeding your
I don't understand.
not hypothesis. I don't know what you were reading from when you said
I wasn't reading from anything.
Okay.
When you say so when I think of a molecule, I think of a substance that is made from one or more atoms, or I guess it has to be more than one atom. So what are the atoms that make up the spirit molecule?
That would be to be honest with you, no idea.
So is it a molecule at all?
You tell me. I mean, you seem to be like really keen. I mean, you got the equation.
Oh, where'd he go?
Oh, what?
Sounded like we lost him.
You hear me?
Oop, yep.
We can hear you again.
Yeah, no, you seem to be the guy that knows like chemistry. Did you study chemistry?
I have a PhD in physics, not chemistry.
So what are the equations behind you?
It's physics. It's mathematics really, but related to physics. So this thing's something called the Bach tensor. The Bach tensor is a conformally invariant thing in 4 dimensions.
So let me ask you this. How many, like pre-1970, whatever year they did it, how many planets are in our solar system?
Well, there are 8.
Okay.
They were misclassified as 9
Right.
for
And
about
how
80
many
years.
electrons are there in an oxygen atom?
Is it 8? Is oxygen have
It is.
have the atomic number of 8? Okay.
Could you argue
How many electrons are in a fluorine atom?
That's gas. I'm not talking. See, I'm talking about oxygen. Oxygen should be known. I mean, especially if you study
Oxygen is a
physics and
gas.
things like that.
Fluorine
Not
is a
chemistry,
gas.
but you should know how many off rip. How many?
Well, I mean, like
in
I don't
oxygen
have
atom.
the
That's
I don't
what
have the
we
whole
breathe. That's
periodic
our life form.
I don't have the whole periodic table memorized, so you know.
Right. But you'd say that if we didn't have oxygen, we would not be able to sustain life. Correct.
Well, yeah, I mean, we breathe oxygen, sure.
Okay.
If we didn't have carbon, we wouldn't be able to sustain life either. What's the point?
but-
There's a lot of chemicals that we need.
I don't know. It just seems like, to say that all of that formed the way that electrons rotate around a nucleus and we've got a solar system, the way that it works.
But
and
they're not at all the same.
Billions of galaxies that go beyond, how far our mind can wrap around. Because you can't tell me you've been to, outside of what we call our universe. So
No,
if
I
you
don't
haven't,
think that
it's kind
anybody
of like
has
the
been
whole
outside
God
the
thing.
universe.
It's like, but if you think that just came from a couple of atoms that just existed out of nowhere. I mean, again, like
I never
your
said that
idea
they
of
existed out of nowhere.
is-
I never said that they existed out of nowhere.
How did they get there? From a single? So you said a single-celled organism.
Well, that's where we came from, life on Earth. Yeah,
Okay, and where did the singles? And then that formed from
chemistry,
stars. Okay,
from chemicals that were already present on Earth.
which is matter, correct?
Yes,
Okay, well, matter. How is matter created out of nowhere?
it's so matter is it's a description of a type of thing. And
Correct.
it's composed of matter. The kind of like the fundamental objects are matter
Well, all
fields.
things are matter. It's not. There's no break that you don't have to break down.
No, I mean,
what your definition of matter
light
is.
is a thing.
Matter is matter.
Light is a thing. I wouldn't say that it's matter. But that's neither here nor there.
Which carries heavy radiation. Light is in another argument also
The point
matter.
is.
Okay, go ahead.
That
I'm sorry.
matter is what we call things that are made of matter fields, and those seem to have always existed.
Okay. And how is such a thing created? Matter cannot.
If it always existed, it wasn't created.
That was if you're a physics if you have a PhD in physics, you would know that. about energy shifts and the different types of energies and how.
Energy shifts.
Correct.
Tell me about those.
How energy moves, if something hits an immovable object at a certain speed, things like that. What I'm getting at is...
You just mean like dynamics. Sure. I'm familiar with dynamics.
Okay. So nothing can be created. What I'm trying to get at? There's
I think that the matter fields have likely always existed.
How?
What do you mean how? They've just always been here.
That's kind of, that's crazy to say. That's a crazy argument.
What's crazy about it?
That's like going outside and, there's a new car in your driveway and you're like, wow, how'd that get, it's just always been there. If somebody told you that, you'd be
well,
like,
look,
that makes
some
no
things
sense. Had to have gotten there somehow though. Like
some things are made, some things are not. I don't see an issue with thinking that some things are made and some things are not.
Okay, so would you agree that at a molecular level, all things are moving?
Not well. Okay, maybe at a
You're gonna say yes or no?
Maybe at a molecular level, yeah.
Okay,
at an atomic
correct.
level, not so much.
And at a molecular level, that's still considered matter, no matter how you want to look at it. No
Sure.
pun
Yeah,
intended,
molecules
but
are made
yes.
of matter.
Okay, so they have energy and movement to them.
Sure.
Okay, no matter what, as a physics major, for energy to be moved, for things to be moving, they had to have started from some point. So if you're saying that just energy,
not necessarily.
Along with the matter, yes, necessarily.
No, necessarily.
Then what part? Okay, then go back.
They could have always been moving, for example.
No, that's energy.
Incredulity is not an argument saying no.
Energy is energy, no matter how you want to look at it. And at a molecular
If
level,
a thing is always moving,
see, I've got you
where's the
vested, and there's
contradiction?
nothing you can say.
Dr. Blitz, have you considered? No.
Premise 1, no. Premise 2, I got
Yeah,
invested.
kind of.
Conclusion, God is
I
real.
don't know. If you have an argument, okay, so how does energy start then?
Energy is not a substance.
It's if matter is moving. It's not. I'm not talking about the energy. I'm talking about the matter that you say is there.
So
That
matter,
just popped up out of nowhere.
matter would have always existed.
That's your final argument. That's again where I say that makes no sense.
What's the argument
Because
against
energy,
it?
energy just appeared out of nowhere.
No, it didn't appear out of nowhere. It's always been there. The system has always had energy.
But you just said the matter fields have always been there.
Yes, and those matter fields might have had some amount of energy.
Always. What do you mean by always?
That there was never a state of being where there were no matter fields.
Yeah, that still makes no sense.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, that's like me. Well, guess what? Like, God's there, people have seen him type deal, and that's been there. That's proven.
Well, if you have an argument against it, that'd be great. But it just sounds like you're saying it doesn't make sense to you.
Your argument is they've always existed. Like that's that's what we came from.
You asked me what my beliefs
matter
are.
Fields. Matter.
You asked me what my
field is like
beliefs
the
are.
craziest argument I've ever heard in my life.
Well, that's just standard quantum field theory.
It's quantum field theory.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I don't study quantum mechanics, but
I know.
whatever. You know. Yeah.
Well,
but
yeah.
You're telling me that they teach in quantum theory, whatever you studied, that there were matter fields before anything.
Well, before matter, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks for being here, Gabe Anywhere. We should go to Super Chats because I gotta go soon. We have a lot to read. From Every Day I'm Struggling with the $20. Thank you. Saying phenomenological categories just are doesn't get you justification. Declaring something axiom doesn't make it one. If justification is difficult to find, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. That's a non sequitur. Ian, any response?
Oh yeah, I mean that's really silly. Like it wasn't just that the categories just are, man. But if what you're asking about is like an epistemology of, for example, like phenomenological categories, an experience isn't a belief, right? Like if there appears to be a table in front of me, there can appear to be a table in front of me without me necessarily believing that there is one. These are separate things. The appearance itself is phenomenological. It's not the type of thing that would require a justification because it's literally just an experience. You would need a justification for the belief that there's a table in front of you, but just the fact that it like appears like there's like a table in front of you, that's just going to be a fact about your psychological state, about your conscious state. It's not going to be the type of thing that requires like a justification because it's something that you have immediate access to. The appearances of the world around you, the seemings that are produced by the world around you, this is the type of thing that is going to emerge just from the experience yourself about like what seems to be. You just have direct access to it.
Okay. Judas with the $5. A bunch of baby bottle emojis. Might need to call on Moses to part the seas of these yappy Christian tears. Fair. Solomon Green with the $2. Ian is a major fairy. Enough said. Super fruitcake. Is that true, Ian?
No, I have a girlfriend.
Oh, well, thanks for the $2 anyway, Solomon. Judas with the $2. Guest giving big truck insecurities. Ant. What is that fruit called? Vegetable. Ant eggplant emoji. There we go. Ant emoji, eggplant emoji. Then we have from God's Grim Reaper with the $10. When I was 18, I sincerely believed and prayed with an open mind heart for God to reveal himself. He didn't. Later, I offered my soul to Satan through binding contract for evidence. Surprise, it didn't work. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. From Absolute with the $2, another hate donation. Love that. Lo I que atheists versus lo I que Christians.
Nice.
It's the letter I and then the letter Q, not I and then QUE. I que. From Grimlock with the $5. Yes, your God is just a disappointment. I'm not going to lower my standards to your smaller God. Yeah, that's fair. From Hard Work with the $5. This preacher does what most Christians do. No one else is ever a real Christian. Their biblical exegesis is always the right. Clowns. From Absolute One with the $2, air is blue. Bro, get this guy out. I mean, air is blue, right? That is the color of air. It's slightly bluer than it is anything else. That's why the sky is blue. Absolute with the $2, bro, this color is insane. Yeah, Absolute number one. Absolute One again with the $2. Color is a Yahweh cultist. He lives in Tel Aviv. Does he really?
No, he said he lives in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Hard Work with the $2 says, Pastor, debate me, bro. Also, Pastor, don't debate me. If you set something up, Ian, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think I will. I think, well, because what I want to do, I want to get into, I want to start making videos where I do like rhetorical analysis of people so I can develop like counter rhetoric. And then I don't know, like I want to do like a deep dive into people's like rhetoric, rhetorical style and arguments, and then come up with like counter arguments and counter rhetoric. And then like just go and debate them and then like demolish them with the counter rhetoric and the counter arguments.
That sounds like a plan. From Judas with the $2, Martin got his degree in a back alley. Hey now. I'm sure he went to a real Bible school. With Sloppy Jones with the $1, thank you for the poop emoji. Jackie with the $10, I was raised Catholic, but became an atheist after discovering the work of Stephen Hawking. Nice. Recently, I had an unexplainable paranormal experience. I know how this sounds. I'm curious. Any thoughts? So you can be an atheist and believe in ghosts. Those are not mutually incompatible. I don't think you should, but you can. Nobody's going to stop you. From Bombay Mike with the 20 Canuck bucks, Martin is working overtime to cram Ian's rhetorical rod down his throat so he doesn't get caught with the real ones being closeted. Keeps him so angry about. Please move on. From I Am the Cheese with the $5, I kind of understand why they unalived Jesus if he walked around and acted like Martin and these other smug, amoral Christians. Yeah, it would track, I guess. And then from Big Smoke Billy with the $2, can I join a wick discuss your ideas in mine. No, you may not, because we are ending the live in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Anything that you wanted to address there, Ian, that I missed?
No.
All right. Well, the reason we are ending the live so soon is because I'm going to be on the Atheist Experience in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in seeing that, go to the Atheist Experience. It's a big channel on YouTube. If you've heard of us, you've probably heard of them. And tune in. I'll send out an announcement in my Discord. I'm sure Ian will not do that. But join our
maybe I
Discord
will
servers.
do it. Everyone should watch it,
You should
though.
do it.
Dr. Blitz is
You
the
should-
fucking goat.
You should. Everybody should watch it. Well, who knows? Maybe it'll go terribly, and then I'll embarrass. Oh, maybe I'll become a Christian.
Could you imagine we're live on the Atheist Experience? The horror
Like
in your co-hosts, like voice, like
the
oh my
one
god,
guy-
dude! Can you imagine? You're like
The one guy who has the argument, the one guy who he comes up with the perfect argument, destroys all of the counter arguments, and I'm just like, you know what? You're right. You're right.
You're like right there. Who's your co-host?
It's Godless Engineer.
Yeah, Godless Engineer watches in horror as you like say the Shahada.
That would be what a world that it would be to live in.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna go make myself some coffee and drink some, and eat some lunch. Anything else, Ian?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Bye.
Later.